Is it another damsel in distress script?
You'd know if you'd read it.
Why bother when they're always the same thing?
Swords or pistols?
Paces or parries?
On guard!
Hello, darlings! Oh, I'm so excited about today's script.
You'd be excited by the opening of the door.
Well, it'll be more exciting than the work we did last week.
What?
Sir!
Oh, he has bested me.
Don't give up, man. 'Tis but a scratch.
Come for me tomorrow and you shall find me a grave man.
Don't you dare bring Shakespeare into this.
Why not? It's better than the tripe we usually do.
Oh, that reminds me, I must get some for me tea.
Oh.
How can you stomach that?
Ooh, I like that. It's not bad. Stomach. Try it. It's not bad.
Speaking of stomachs, ta!
What?
You egg, young fry of treachery!
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you.
Murder! That's what this is, the murder of Master Shakespeare. Such beauteous language, such poeticism. Oh, well, your cheap imitation doesn't fool me. He wouldn't have written such rubbish. You two may have the temerity, but you don't have the natural talent to play such complex characters, let alone know the nuances and the intricacies and the depths of meaningful theatre.
Oh, is she done yet?
Do you mean, is he done yet? Well, yes, he certainly is overdone.
A plague on both your houses.
I'd bite my thumb at you.
You two speak such nonsense, really.
Well, I'm quite happy with my part this week. The matriarchal, complicated woman who's nuanced. Than the comic relief I normally get. Oh, be a delight to stretch my theatrical muscles.
It will be a stretch, that's for sure. Are you talking of Arabella?
Of course.
The old nag? New one?
I thought you said it would be a stretch.
No, I thought you said you hadn't read it.
Oh, nice of you to join us.
Persian dish.
What did he say?
Oh, he's speaking Albanian again.
Albanian?
He speaks Albanian when he's drunk. Only knows a few words, though.
But why Albanian?
He's of the opinion that it makes him appear more intimidating, like a gangster.
How does he know Albanian?
Well, there was a nun and a donkey.
Oh, I don't want to know. So you had a late one last night?
What?
I said, did you have a late one last night?
Very. Or rarely. Depends on how you look at it.
Have you slept at all?
I am a gentleman and do not discuss my sleeping habits.
You are not a gentleman.
And a lady never kisses and tells, so zip it.
Oh, do you have to drink before a show? Oh, there's nothing worse than sharing a whiskey-soaked microphone with you.
That's not all you've shared with me, is it?
Oh, brute!
Now shut up.
We're on the air in 60 seconds. Places?
I think I should do an American accent for the
Actually, no, yeah.
Do you have to do that there?
Well, the lips are traditionally where you kiss your sweetheart. But where would you have me kiss her, you saucy minx?
Players stand by. We're on the air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
T3 Players Radio presents My Wife's Family. Every week, C. Farmer & Sons, manufacturing chemists since 1852, brings together the theatre's finest actors and actresses, famed for their oral skills and delicate handling of your favorite characters. Tonight, they will bring to riotous life the laugh-out-loud comedy, My Wife's Family, a show filled with sentiments that married men are familiar with, and ones that bachelors should be wary of. And now, ladies and gentlemen, My Wife's Family. We find ourselves this fine morning in the library of Jack Gay's house in the country. The Great Depression is fast approaching, but our players are as yet oblivious. The countryside at this time of year is a lush green and dotted with charming estates, one of whom belongs to Jack, where he lives with the love of his life, Stella. How do we know that she is the love of his life? When you meet his mother-in-law, you'll understand. Jack and Stella have been kind enough to put a roof over the head of her younger brother, Willie, who was a hit with the ladies and in the boxing ring. His residence began 2 years ago when he came for the weekend and never left. They are attended upon by Sally, their dutiful servant. As we begin our story, we find Willie in the library whispering sweet nothings into the ear of a young lady dressed, for the moment, in an attractive parlourmaid's uniform.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, Sally. I'm sick and tired of all this secrecy and the fear of being found out, and you having to play servant to your own sister-in-law. Here we've been married just over a year and afraid to tell anyone about it. Then there's the baby. Why, he'll grow up without knowing his father or mother.
But, darling, we see him at least once a week.
I know, and it's sweet of your cousin Tilly to take care of him so well. But suppose she should suddenly decide to leave for the north, as she's thought of doing. What then?
There. Don't worry about it, dear. We'll find a way out, I'm sure.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I stand up to Slugger Pete tonight and win that £200, we'll declare ourselves and leave here for good, baby and all.
Oh, Willie, I meant to tell you before. There's a man in the garden with Mr. Gay, and I'm sure I've seen him somewhere before. I couldn't place him at first, and then I realised I recognised him from the registry office.
What are you talking about?
Don't you remember the man who was called in as a witness when we were married? You said he was drunk.
Oh, yes, that horse doctor fellow. He signed the register. You say he is here?
Yes, dear, with Mr. Gay.
Great Scott! I hope he doesn't come in and recognise either of us. Keep out of his way if possible, and I'll do the same. I must be off now, dearest. I will see you later.
Willie, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing, Stella. Nothing at all. Just keeping the staff in good humour.
I wish you would find a more dignified way of doing it. Sally, go and get on with your work. You must have everything spick and span for my dear mother's arrival. She is so particular, and this is the first time she's seen us in our new home. Willie, I thought you were going to meet the mother at the station.
I would have, sister darling, but I thought Jack was going. Besides, I had to do my exercises for tonight's fight.
Are those your exercises? Flirting with Sally?
I wasn't flirting with Sally.
Oh, yes, you were. I must say it's disgraceful, and it isn't the first time that I've noticed it. You must stop it. It isn't done.
But I've just done it.
I know you've done it, but it isn't nice.
Oh, yes, it is. We interrupt this little exchange to warn you of the imminent arrival of Arabella and Noah Nag, and their youngest child, Ima. Ima Nag is the most delightful of this trio, being young and completely unhindered by responsibility. She dreams of a future in celluloid, but her ambition may be thwarted by the invention of the talkies. I'm sure that you have heard that some people are blessed with a faceful radio. Well, if only Ima could be seen and not heard. Her father, Noah Nag, has a personality as depressing as his dress sense, which is funereal. But his fashion choices will make perfect sense when you meet his wife, Arabella. Arabella is a stern-looking, massively proportioned woman with a personality to match. She is a woman of strong opinions, and she shares them with everyone that she meets, even when they do not ask.
I will be so glad to see Mama and Ima again. And of course, dear father. Oh, poor old father. I wonder if Mother chastises him as much as ever.
I shouldn't be at all surprised.
Don't tell me, you brazen hussy.
Listen.
I came all the way from the station alone. And if my daughter is in this house, I can find her.
It's Mother! Darlings! Mother, dear!
Hello, Mother.
Willie, my noble Willie, you may kiss me.
Hello, sis! My, but I'm glad to see you again. And I'm glad to see you, dear. Hello there! How are you, big brother?
I'm fine. Never better. Landed in the movies yet?
No,
elocution lessons now. Want to hear me?
No, thanks.
Oh, my children, I've lost your father.
Lost father?
He's not unwell.
Where are you, sweetheart?
Here I am, my angel.
Where, my darling?
Here, my love.
Hello, Father.
Hello, Stella.
Hello, Pop.
Hello, Willie.
Noah, will you be careful with those things?
Accidents will happen, love.
The greatest accident that ever happened to me was when we got married.
Yes, dear. I was slightly bruised myself.
Well, my dear, I don't see anything of that priceless son-in-law of mine. He might have met us at the station instead of leaving us to the mercy of that horrible-looking taxi driver.
Didn't Jack meet you at the train?
He did not.
Oh, I'm sure he meant to meet you. He must have missed you somehow.
And I don't suppose he ever intended to either.
But come now. Let me show you to your rooms. You, Ima, are to have the blue room, and you, Mother, are to have the rose room.
I suppose I am to have the bathroom.
Silence, sir. You'll speak when you're spoken to.
Thank you.
The rose room. I love roses. They always remind me of your dear departed Uncle George. He loved roses too. It's such a beautiful one on the end of his nose. Must have cost him a fortune. I must say, your place looks very comfortable. What do you call it?
Oh, Peace Haven.
Peace Haven. What a soothing name. I'm all for peace. But tell me, my dear, has your husband bought you a piano yet?
Oh, no, Mother. But I wish he would. I would love one.
I'd hate one. Your father made me a gift of a piano last Christmas, but it didn't take me long to get rid of it.
Oh.
Now, what's the matter?
Nothing, Buttercup.
What did you call me?
Buttercup, Buttercup.
Oh, I thought you said gutter cup. But come along, Noah, bring up those parcels.
I will if I can.
If you can, sir.
Well, I will, whether I can or not.
Can I help you, Father?
I'm afraid not, my boy. There is no help for me.
Poor old Pop, still as henpecked as ever. For goodness' sake, what did Mother want to bring him along for anyway?
Oh, Father's all right. He's really quite a good sport when he gets the chance to be. And he's awfully good to me too. In fact, he's promised me all the money I want for my dramatic lessons.
Dramatic lessons?
Why, yes. I've decided that my future lies on stage. Well, not this stage exactly, but on the films. I've made up my mind to get into pictures and nothing shall stop me.
Well, I wish you luck. I wonder if old Dad would be good for a touch from me. I need some money awfully badly.
What for?
Oh, it doesn't matter. If I told you, you would be surprised. But I can't tell you. At least not yet. It's a secret.
Well, I know Father's pretty soft, but I don't suppose he's soft enough to part with money without a good reason.
Oh well, perhaps I shan't have to lean on the old geezer. If I win the fight tonight, I'll win some serious coin.
What fight?
Haven't you heard? Why, the managers for Slugger Pete agreed to pay £200 to any amateur who can stand up to their man for 6 rounds. And I'm going after it. I wasn't the champion of our school for nothing.
I hope so, William. And when is this fight to take place?
Tonight at 9:30. Want to watch me train?
No, thanks. I'm going upstairs to unpack and then practice my elocution. Look at this letter. It's from a director of one of our best film companies. They're giving me an audition tomorrow.
By Jove, this sounds interesting. What are you giving them? Something from Shakespeare?
Oh, I suppose so. Anyway, I've got to be letter perfect. I'll see you later. Oh, Willie, wouldn't it be lovely if you win your fight and I get on the talkies? We'll both be stars.
Well, I shall probably see stars. Oh, that'll be the postman.
If there's anything for me, bring it up.
All right, sis.
Morning, Willie. Folks arrived yet?
Yes, all here. Hadn't you heard? You'll find a few letters in the hall for you. Finally, the cog around which all our pieces turn, Jack Gay followed closely at heel by Dr. Knott. While they are school friends, their lives have gone in very different directions. Jack to prosperity and marital bliss, and Doc from door to door in perpetual bachelorhood.
Now listen, Jack.
No, you listen, Doc. It's no use. I refuse to buy anything out of your damn catalogue, and that settles that. All I asked you to do was to tell me what was the matter with my horse. You've done that, so our business is at an end. Now, good morning, and don't slam the door.
Listen, Jack. Things have not been quite so good with me, especially in the last few years. When we left college together, we both started our careers with even chances, but you forged ahead and are now able to rest on your laurels. I worked pretty hard too, but I just didn't seem to make the grade. Just drifted from one thing to another without really landing anywhere. Things have been particularly hard lately, and the soles of my shoes are so thin that if I were to stand on half a crown, I could tell you whether it was heads or tails. Is there anything else I could sell you? Life insurance, for instance.
No, thank you. I've got more life insurance now than I can afford. I'm worth more dead than I am alive. But seriously, Doc, I think you would have been all right if you'd stuck to your profession as a veterinarian.
Oh, I did try, but what is there to vet in these days? Why, there aren't 3 horses in town. So I practically gave up vetting and became a piano tuner. And by the way, can I tune your piano?
I'm sorry, I have no piano.
What? No piano?
No piano.
But surely you play.
Oh, yes, I play, but I have no piano to play on.
Do you play Faust?
I play Faust, also. Now, listen, if I ever get a piano, I promise you can come in and tune it. Now, you can get right out of here, or I'll whistle for the dog.
Splendid. I'll sell you a whistle.
I don't want a whistle. Get out, or I'll have you shot.
I'll sell you a gun.
If you don't beat it, I'll throw you out.
Oh, very well. I suppose I can take a hint. See you later.
All right, Doc. See you at the Green Swan. They're open at 11.
I'll be there at 10:55.
Ah, Jack, my boy, there you are.
Hello, father-in-law. Well, I am glad to see you again. I must say you are looking... well, how are you, anyway?
Quite well, my boy. Quite well.
That's fine. I must apologise for not coming down to the station to meet you, but to tell you the truth, I forgot all about it. I hope you'll forgive me.
That's quite all right, my boy. I understand. But I must say, my wife was a bit perturbed over your non-appearance. She takes offence so easily, you know.
Yes, I know. How is the old blister? Still as narky as ever?
Worse.
Worse, eh? I'm sorry to hear that. I'll give her worse if she starts any of her shenanigans around here. What about a little drink to celebrate the occasion, eh? A little bacchanalian revelry? Something to anoint the tonsils?
Well, yes. That is, if you think we'll be unobserved.
Great guns. You're not afraid of your wife, are you?
Afraid of my wife? Oh, dear, no. Oh, dear, no.
Oh, that's the spirit. Say when.
Not more than full.
Do you know, Noah, I marvel at the way you put up with your wife's nonsense. Why don't you put your foot down for a change and show her who's the real boss? It would do her good.
Me? Oh, dear, no. Oh, dear, no. Gosh, she'd kill me.
I shouldn't be at all surprised. Well, you're safe while you're in my house.
I hope so. Well, here's to you. This is, very good.
It's elephant whiskey.
Elephant whiskey?
Yes, 2 drinks of this and you throw your trunk out the window.
And now, my boy, I want to tell you something confidentially.
Speak freely.
It's about Arabella.
Oh, why spoil my day?
Well, some weeks ago, as you are no doubtless aware, we celebrated the anniversary of our wedding.
Why celebrate a calamity like that? Another drink?
I wonder. Anyway, to mark the occasion, I made her the gift of a piano.
A most generous gift indeed. Bottoms up.
Yes, I thought so at the time. But it never occurred to me that if there is one thing she detests more than another, it is the piano.
Oh, thanks for the tip. I'll have one moved in here at once.
Well, that's just the point I'm coming to. I had the piano delivered one afternoon when I knew she'd be out. When she arrived home and saw it, well, you never heard such a carry-on in your life. Who placed that piano there? She cried. How did it get here? I brought it for you as a gift, I replied, as a little token of my love. Is that so? She responded. Well, you can have your token taken right out of here within the half hour, or I'll have it struck to bits. With that, she actually struck at the keyboard so violently with her umbrella that she not only broke her umbrella, but 3 or 4 of the keys as well. And I distinctly heard 1 or 2 of the strings snap. Yes, like that, only louder. Then she ordered me to take it out of the house.
What could cause her hatred of such a noble instrument, I wonder?
Why, I haven't the least idea. All I know is that she detests them. And now this is what I'm getting at. Knowing that you have no piano, I took the liberty of having ours hauled down here on a lorry.
You've done what? Had your piano hauled down here to me? Well, I never. What's the big deal? What's this going to cost me?
Nothing, my boy. I want you to accept it as a little token of goodwill from me.
Really? Well, that is nice of you. Now I appreciate that, I do. Thank you, father-in-law. Do you know, I had intended giving Stella a piano for her birthday in about a month's time. Now she shall have one sooner. It will please her, and it will annoy your wife, and that will please me. Does your millstone know anything about this?
Not a word.
By gosh, that's a hot one. She will be pleased when she sees her hated piano turning up here. The piano is on its way, you say?
It should arrive here at any moment. All it requires are a few minor repairs and retuning, and it's as good as new.
Splendid. Now, I'll tell you what. We've got to do a bit of conniving, a bit of conspiring. Listen, in the first place, I don't want Stella to know a thing about this until later. You go outside and watch for the lorry. The minute it arrives, have the piano smuggled into the summer house in the garden. I'll have it repaired out there and then moved into the drawing room. Let me know the minute it gets here. If you can't get to me personally without arousing suspicion, send me a note or some sign by Sally. But don't forget, Mum is the word.
Mum is the word, my dear boy. Mum is the word. Leave everything to me. I'll go outside and wait for that lorry to arrive, and when it does arrive, I'll summer it into the smuggle house. The piano, I mean, not the lorry.
That's the stuff. Shh!
Hello, Father!
Hello, Ima, my dear. Bye-bye, Ima.
Hello, Emma.
Hello, Jack.
Oh, I'm glad to see you again. Welcome to my new house. You look as charming as ever. What are you reading?
Oh, I'm just studying a passage from Shakespeare.
Studying in the passage with Shakespeare? You naughty little minx. Never trust a man with whiskers.
Did Shakespeare have whiskers?
Of course he did. How are you, anyway?
I'm fine, thanks.
That's good. And how's your mother?
She's not so well.
That's better.
She's been very morbid lately. Always talking about dying and says she wants to be cremated.
Oh, splendid. Tell her to get her hat on and I'll take her along. And now, my dear, if you'll excuse me for a little while, I have a few odds and ends to attend to. Just make yourself at home. I'll be back as soon as I can.
I could to thee a tale unfold, whose lightest word would freeze thy young blood, parch thy matted and combined locks, and make each particular hair stand on end, like quills upon the fretful porcupine. Oh, list, list, Hamlet! Ah!
Excuse me, young lady, I've just come back for my hat.
That's quite all right. Are you a guest here?
Well, yes and no. My name is Knott. They call me Doc Knott.
How do you do, Dr. Knott? My name is Ima. I'm Mrs. Gay's sister. I'm studying for the stage.
Studying for the stage? Now, I am selling a little book entitled How to Become an Actress in 3 Acts.
Really? I should like to have one, but I haven't any money.
Well, the price of this valuable little volume is 5 shillings, but if you'll throw in a ham sandwich, we'll call it square. Do you really want to go on the stage?
Well, not the stage exactly. I want to get on the films. I think they're wonderful.
I think they're terrible. I used to like the silent drama. Love to go to the cinema where I could watch a woman open her mouth without having to listen to her. But seriously, if you want to go in for this picture business, I think I can help you.
Could you really?
No, I'm sure I could. What you want, my child, is tuition, particularly in elocution.
I know I do, Doctor. And what's more, I need it quick. Read this, Doctor. You see, I have an appointment for an audition tomorrow. Do you think you can help me out right away?
Of course I can. Listen, some years ago I met a very talented actress in very peculiar circumstances. Her name was Dolly White. Quite a star. Ever heard of her?
No.
No. Ah, the limitations of youth. Anyway, our meeting was brought about in a rather odd way.
Do tell me about it.
I will. May I sit down?
Oh, certainly.
A drink, maybe, for a dry throat.
Well, I don't know.
It's a long story.
Is it a good one?
A very good one.
Very well, then.
And a very long one. Much obliged to you, miss. I must tell you that a good many years ago, your brother-in-law, Mr. Gay, and myself were students at the same college. Well, one night we both attended a midnight swimming party when this girl got into difficulties in the swimming pool and I rescued her. She thanked me and then asked my name. I told her Jack Gay.
Why did you do that?
Well, I was engaged at the time and I didn't want my girl to know that I attended midnight swimming parties.
Oh, I see.
Yes, as did I. Hence the lie. Well, I got her out of the water, but she had fainted. So to get her around again, I slapped her pretty hard till she opened her eyes. But then I ran away before she could get a good look at me.
Do you think you could get a hold of her? I do so want to have her assistance for my test tomorrow. My whole future depends on it.
I haven't seen her for 10 years, but I will ring her up and see what she has to say. Exchange? I haven't a directory here. Will you look me up the Bijou Dramatic Academy and put me through? Not through the academy, through to the academy. Thank you. My dear, I have every faith in this lady's ability. I feel sure she'll get you through your test all right. Oh, hello. Is that Miss Dolly White? How do you do? It's Jack Gay speaking.
But surely...
Do you remember the midnight bathing party 10 years ago when I saved your life? What? Ah, I thought you'd be interested. Well then, listen, Miss White. I have a pupil for you, quite a nice little pupil, who wants to take elocution lessons right away, as she has a talkie test tomorrow.
Tell her to come along right away.
Can you come along immediately? What's that? You want £5. Have you got a fiver on you?
No, but I think I can get one from Father.
Pop along right away and I'll introduce you. The address is Peacehaven, 46 the Avenue. Yes, I'll wait here for you. Bonsoir. That's goodbye in German. Now I'll go outside and await your instructress.
Ima, have you seen anything of your dad?
No, why?
Oh, nothing. I only wondered.
Come along, Stella.
Mother's coming.
Yes, Mother's coming and Jack's going. Come on, kid.
Ah, Jack! There you are.
Thwarted. Yes, darling. Here I are. Anne, I mean.
Here's Mother.
Well, the old covered wagon. Hello, mother-in-law. Sit down and take a load off your feet. How are you, anyway? What's the matter with the old bird?
Jack, why didn't you meet Mother at the station?
Oh, that's it, is it? Well, now I am awfully sorry about that. I went down to the station and when I got there, the silly old train was just pulling in. I thought it was pulling out, so I came home again.
I don't believe a word of it.
I don't blame you.
I don't think you wanted to meet me at all. I know that I'm unwelcome. I know that you hate me. I know that you hate my family just because we're so refined. You get angry and fly into a rage just because we've come to visit you for a few short months.
Why? I haven't said a word.
It's not what a man says. It's what he thinks. Even now you are thinking of something disagreeable to say to me.
She's right.
I have come to visit my daughter, because I feel she needs me to advise her and to guide her. And I want my visit to be a peaceful and quiet one. There shall be harmony, sweet harmony. And if there isn't, I'm going to find out the reason why.
Why, my dear mother-in-law, harmony is what we specialise in around here. Our married life is just one song after another, isn't it, darling? What is it, Sally?
A note for you, sir.
Thank you, Sally.
So, you receive notes?
Yes, I receive notes. I receive a lot of notes. It's the notes that make the harmony. That is damn good. Isn't that good, darling? Made that up right out of my head. See, that's a joke. Notes make harmony. Don't you think that's good, sweetheart? Look at your mother. She's laughing herself sick about it. Well, I don't suppose she can see a joke without an appointment. Have I your permission to peruse the contents of my note?
If you must.
I must. Piano arrived in summer house. Noah. Well, now for the fireworks.
What's the matter with the man? Is he mad? What are you doing?
I'm just composing a piece of music, a little song which I am dedicating to you.
Oh, to me? What's it called?
It's called I Can Give You Anything You Want But Love.
What's the matter, Jack? What's the note about?
Why, nothing, dear. Just a note, that's all. Little business I have to attend to. I'm forming a company. Yes, that's it. That's what I'm doing, forming a company. I'll see to this little matter, and in the meanwhile, you see that Mother is comfortable. Make her happy. Give her a red-hot poker to play with. Show her our new home. Show her the house. Show her the garden. Show her the door. Do you like flowers, Mother?
No, I do not.
That's too bad. I'd love to place a lily on your chest. I'll be off now, Stella. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Well, I never. Such conduct is highly suspicious. Forming a company, is he? I'd like to know what sort of company he is forming.
He's not a bit himself. I wonder what can be the matter.
The matter? You poor innocent child. Can't you see? He receives a note and is afraid to tell us what it contains. Did you notice how guilty he looked? Like a criminal. And the way he skipped out of the house like a flirt. And the lack of respect he shows to me, his mother-in-law, the mother of his wife. Give me a red-hot poker and I'll poke it up your...
As soon as he comes back, I'll clear up this misunderstanding. I'm sure it must be on business.
Business? Yes, the business of meeting a woman.
A woman? Why, Mother, what can you be thinking of? Such a thing would never enter his head.
Oh, my child, I have no desire to frighten you, but a mother's eyes are not to be deceived. Take my advice and be on your guard.
Oh, come now, Mother. You judge him too harshly. Why, Jack is sincerity itself. We should never accuse people unless we are sure.
My dear, I can plainly see that things are not as they should be. You are fortunate I came just when I did. Your husband has a secret. He is deceiving you. Oh, if only you'd married a man like your father. He never flirts. Come, let us go. It is high time you had me with you. I mean to find out who that note was from.
For goodness sake, Doc, stop following me about. I've got enough trouble as it is. And I haven't got it now, it's coming. I can see it sticking out a mile.
You haven't seen a strange woman anywhere about here?
The strangest woman I've seen is my mother-in-law. Can you suggest some way to get rid of her?
What about inventing a painless poison?
Good idea, but why painless? But seriously, Doc, you may be able to give me some advice. I mean, you live by your wits, don't you?
No, I live by other people's lack of wit.
Comes to the same thing. I'm in a hole, Doc, and I want you to help me out.
Certainly, that's the best thing I do. Suppose you tell me what seems to be on your mind.
Do you know my mother-in-law?
No.
Allow me to congratulate you. Have you ever had any experience with mothers-in-law?
Oh, I should say so. Mine is a sad, sad story. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, if you keep it clean.
Splendid. I'll tell you. A drink to wet the vocal cords.
If you insist.
Some years ago, my mother-in-law came to visit me. In my usual kind and generous manner, I took her out for a moonlight row on the river. Gaily we were gliding along when suddenly, bang! We had struck the rapids. The boat sank, and mother-in-law was drowned.
I suppose you went to the funeral?
No, I went to work. Business before pleasure.
But all kidding aside, Doc, I'm in trouble. Serious trouble.
Too much family, eh?
Too much family is right. My wife's family arrived here about 15 minutes ago and things have begun to happen already. They generally do when they show up. Mind you, I like them well enough, except my mother-in-law, and there'll be no peace around here while she's in the house. How do you think I'd best get rid of her? Send her a fake telegram calling her back or something like that?
Tell you what, introduce her to me. I'll take her for a stroll in the zoo and push her through the lion's cage.
It's no use, Doc. The lion wouldn't stand a chance. Oh, by the way, didn't you tell me you're a piano tuner or something?
Why, yes, but what does that matter to you? You don't have a piano.
Oh, yes, I have. It's a present from my father-in-law. It has just arrived and is, at the moment, in the summer house in the garden.
What are you going to do? Give an open-air concert?
No. I've had to put it there until it's repaired. There's something the matter with it. Nothing serious, just a key broken or a string snapped. Now, you go out there and see what's wrong with it, and then report to me. And listen, I'm keeping this as a little surprise for my wife, so keep it under your hat. Just wait till that piano is fixed. I'll have it played 24 hours a day.
A lady to see you, sir. Here's her card.
What does she want? Dolly White. I wonder if she's any relation to the Whites of Wimbledon.
She didn't say, sir. She merely said she had an appointment.
I don't know anything about it.
And so enters Miss Dolly White, who has a history of gracing the stage, but can no longer obtain employment upon the boards despite maintaining herself in the style to which audiences were accustomed. She now turns her talents to running a dramatic academy to ensure a future for herself, and occasionally for her pupils.
So, you're the man who slapped me in the water. I've been waiting 10 years to give you this. That's to show my gratitude for saving my life. And here's another.
Another? What's that one for?
That one's for slapping me so hard. Do you know you slapped me so hard I was black and blue for weeks afterwards?
Did I? Where? I mean, when?
Well, you are Jack Gay, aren't you?
Yes, I think so. No, yes, definitely.
Oh, for a moment, I was not quite sure. Of course, the last time I saw you, you were undressed.
For goodness sake, don't speak like that, or are we the one receiving a slapping this time? From my wife.
Let me have a look at you with your clothes on. Oh, the last time I saw you, I thought what beautiful white skin you had. And I remember, too, you had nice eyes.
When was all this?
10 years ago.
I think you've made a mistake. You've come to the wrong asylum.
Oh, no. This is the address you gave. I'll never forget your chivalrous action. But why did you run away? And you don't seem very pleased to see me now after sending for me to come here.
I never sent for you to come here.
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, no, you did.
Oh, yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what is this, a singing festival? Never mind who sent for whom. What is it that you want?
Oh, you know what I want.
Oh, we can't do that again. Now look here, miss, or Mrs., or whatever you are. Will you do me a favour and get out of here?
Well, I must say, that's a nice way to treat me. Well, I demand to see your pupil.
What?
You told me you had a pupil you wanted me to see.
Is that really necessary?
And another thing before we go any further. What about the money?
Money?
Yes, the money you agreed to pay me. Business is business. Cash down. Give me £5 or I do not see your pupil.
I've got to give you £5 just to look at my pupil? This dame's as crazy as a March hare. Look here, if I show you my pupil, will you get out of here?
As soon as I've seen your pupil.
Well, I'd better humour her. Here you are, look. 2 pupils.
What on earth is the matter with you? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't do that! Ah! 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 The man's mad! Get away from me! Help! Help! Oh!
Shut up, you! Shut up! Suffering cat! Whatever next? I'll have to get her out of here before that old bird sees her, or there will be trouble.
Oh, thank heaven he's gone. Now to make my escape before he returns.
Is that you, Ina?
Good heavens! Someone else! Oh, I bet I'm in a lunatic asylum.
I'm sure I heard someone screaming for help. Did you hear anything, Sally?
Yes, madam, I thought I did.
It's very likely that stage-struck daughter of mine going through one of her scenes. To think that a child of mine should anticipate such a lie. Sally, go upstairs and see if you can find her.
Yes, madam.
I'll have a look for her in here.
Doc, you've got to get rid of that woman. She's as crazy as a March hare. Kissed me, and then wanted me to give her a fiver and whatnot. Now get her out of here. Use force if you have to.
Where is she?
She's in that room.
Leave it to me. I'll get her out. I used to be the chucker out at the Green Swan.
And now, sir, will you tell me what all this means?
Certainly. With pleasure. It means that you are not wanted in this house.
Not wanted?
That's what I said, not wanted. As a matter of fact, Mr. Gay told me that he hates the sight of you and I'm to throw you out.
Well.
Yes, ma'am, and it will give me great pleasure to carry out Mr. Gay's orders. Now, will you go quietly or must I carry you out?
Just a minute. Am I to understand that Mr. Gay has asked you to do this?
Mr. Gay has asked me to do this. He also told me to tell you that if you didn't go quietly, I was to shoot you in the fracas.
Shoots me in the what? The wretch, the fiend, the monster. Call him here at once.
No use. He says he won't see you and never will again.
I shall inform my husband of these insults.
Splendid. Now get thee gone, woman. Get thee gone.
How dare you bald-headed old fossil.
Don't you call me a bald-headed old fossil, you old catfish.
And don't call me an old catfish. I'll have you understand, sir, I've only seen 45 summers.
Yes, and 85 winters.
Oh, I shall faint. I know I shall faint.
Don't faint in here. You'll make the place look untidy. Go outside and faint.
My limbs won't hold me.
Well, stand on your head for a while.
Oh, you wretch. Just wait. I'll show you a thing or two. I'll show you who's boss around here.
Yes?
What is that? How dare you point a gun at me?
Orders is orders. Will you go quietly or do you wish to cause a fracas?
You haven't heard the last of me.
That's the way to fix 'em. I wonder where Jack is.
Well, Doc, did you get rid of her?
She's evaporated.
Good. If she returns, shoot her.
Hands up! The first one who lays a hand on me dies like a dog.
Splendid. Aim it at him.
Hey, put that gun down. What do you want to do? Kill somebody?
Yes. No. I do. If you don't let me out of here.
Police, we have an intruder, and she has a gun.
Out of my way, you lunatics!
Why, bless my soul if it isn't Dolly White.
You know this lady?
Why, of course. I sent for her.
Is she crazy?
No, I'm not. But I thought you were.
Well, that makes it 50-50. And here's me calling up the police. Cancel that call.
Allow me to explain. I saved this lady's life 10 years ago on the night that you and I attended the midnight bathing party. But I gave her your name instead of mine. Permit me to make you folks acquainted. Miss White, this is the real Mr. Gay, your pupil's brother-in-law.
How do you do?
Miss White, Mr. Gay.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Really, Miss White, you must allow me to apologise. Permit me to welcome you to my home. But beware, anything is apt to happen in this house.
Oh, that's all right. Fancy my mistaking you for that gentleman. But what is his name? I'm still in the dark as to the real name of the man who saved my life.
It's Doc Knott.
Doc Knott. That explains why you were so good with your hands. So firm and assured.
Maybe you're crazy after all.
Oh, I can assure you that I'm not. Now, may I see your pupil?
If you still insist, have a good look. Are you sure she's not cuckoo?
Say, what I wanted to know is, who was the female I chased out of here with a gun?
What? You pop-eyed old weasel. Did you chase a female out of here with a gun?
I did, just like you told me to. And she didn't appear to like it either.
Suffering cats. Now who can that have been? Sally?
Who's Sally? Another relation?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hello, everybody! What's all the excitement?
Hello, Ima.
Hello, Ima. Permit me to introduce you to Miss White, your dramatic instructress.
This is my kid sister-in-law, Miss White. She wants to go on the films.
How do you do, Miss White? I'm awfully keen on having you teach me. Dr. Nott has told me all about you. When do we begin?
As soon as you like. Now, if you wish. I must have you ready for tomorrow without fail.
Oh, Jack, isn't she wonderful?
I'll tell you when I get the bill.
Shall we go into the garden, Miss White, to talk things over?
With pleasure. Will you excuse us, gentlemen?
Yes. Yes, certainly.
Until later, au revoir.
That's farewell in German, you know.
By Jove, you certainly know how to pick them.
Miss White's a fine woman, my boy. Been on the stage.
What did she do? Sweep it? Now listen, you. Don't start chasing females around here with guns. You'll get me into trouble. By the way, how are you getting on with that piano?
Fine, fine. If you can call it a piano. Come on, I'll show you how far I've got.
What do you mean, call it a piano? They tell me it's a very fine instrument. It's a Steinway.
It's a throwaway.
Sally! Sally! Sally!
What do you want?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, for goodness sake, don't bother me. I've got to phone for the doctor.
What for? Are you unwell?
For Mrs. Nagg. She's in hysterics. She's declared war on the whole house, and particularly on Mr. Gay. I never saw a woman in such a rage. Says Mr. Gay's a murderer and hired an assassin to kill her. And she's screaming at the top of her voice for her husband. Oh, do go and find him and tell him to come quickly and that I phoned for the doctor. Now, what is Dr. Johnson's number? Oh, I know. Central 2073.
Here, read this note. It's from Cousin Tilly.
What does she want?
She evidently wants us to take the baby away. I've been expecting this. She says, "Come for your darling at once, Tilly." What will we do?
There's only one thing to do. You'd better go and fetch him. Oh, hello. Is this Dr. Johnson? Oh, Doctor, can you come over to Mr. Gay's house right away? No, sir, it's Mrs. Gay's mother. Oh, no, sir, not an accident, sir. I see. Yes, I can do that and you'll ring through later. All right, Doctor. Doctor says he can't come over now, but I'm to put a thermometer in her mouth and take her temperature, and he'll ring through later and I'm to tell him what it says.
But what about baby? What are we going to do about baby?
Dear, oh, I'm so upset I nearly forgot all about him. Oh, you'd better go over and fetch him. Bring him here. Oh, what will we do? Oh, I'm so worried and there's so much to do.
He will be all right. I'll go and fetch him now and be back after lunch. Here, you'd better keep this note. Goodbye, sweetheart. I'm off.
But don't forget to tell your father your mother wants him.
All right, dear. Good Lord!
What?
It's that man from the registry office. The drunkard. What was his name again?
Not Doc Nott.
Yes, Doc Nott. And he's coming in here.
Oh, what if he should recognise us?
If he does, you must beg him to keep quiet about our marriage. He seemed a pretty good sort, and I'm sure he'll keep his mouth shut if you appeal to him. Don't fret so, Sally. It will all be well. I promise.
I can't find the kitchen anywhere.
Oh, dear Dr. Nott, I want to ask you a favour. You won't say anything to Mr. Gay about how... You know what I mean. You understand? In the registry office? There's someone coming. I'll see you later. Shh. Until later.
Well, if this isn't a lunatic asylum, it ought to be.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, pardon my emotions, sir, but I am deeply distressed. I do not know you. Are you a guest of this house?
Well, yes and no. My name is not.
Isn't it? Why not?
I don't know. Blame my father, but it is not.
Not what?
Not what, it's not.
What is your name?
What is not my name? It is not.
What?
Not what, not.
What not?
No, not what not. Not. Doc, not.
Oh, the doctor. He's come to see my wife. How do you do, doctor? My son William told me they'd sent for you. I am Mr. Gay's father-in-law.
Ah, the old geezer that gave Gay the piano. Well, she's a bit mucky.
Nice way to speak of my wife. Then you have seen her?
Her? That's funny. To call a piano a her? Still, I suppose he's as crazy as the rest of them. Yes, I was just down taking a look at her.
What seems to be the matter?
Oh, a little of everything.
Nothing serious, I hope.
Well, she's pretty beaten up and showing her age.
Beaten up? Did you make a thorough examination?
Yes, I had her all apart.
Apart? Really? Oh, what did you think?
Well, her inside is rusty.
Her inside is rusty?
Yes, and I think her pedals want scraping.
Pedals want scraping? Is it as bad as that?
Worse.
Worse?
Do you know her legs are blistered all over?
Blistered all over?
Her sounding board is badly cracked.
Sounding board cracked? Which is very noisy.
As noisy as an old Ford.
Well, can't something be done?
No, I've tightened up her G-string and touched her up with a glue brush.
Touched her up with a glue brush?
She's dirty, too. Wants a darn good scrubbing.
Oh, sir.
She's scratched all over.
Scratched?
My advice is to varnish her legs.
What? Varnish her legs? Isn't that extraordinary treatment?
Yes, but in this case we must be drastic. Now, I haven't time for the job just now, so I suggest you had better do it at once, unless you want her to fall apart.
Fall apart? Oh, my poor Arabella! Falling apart! Oh, don't fall apart, Arabella! Oh!
He calls the piano Arabella.
As Noah exits to find varnish for his dear Arabella's legs, and we leave Doc to adjust the levels of the whiskey decanter, we find Sally searching furiously for something.
Oh, where did I put that note from Cousin Tilly?
What are you looking for, Sally?
A note, sir. I've dropped it somewhere and it's imperative that I find it. Begging your pardon.
That reminds me. What have I done with mine? I say, Ima, you haven't seen anything of a note I dropped around here, have you?
No, I haven't.
What on earth have I... Oh, it doesn't matter. Miss Dolly, let me tell you how glad I am that you could come and help out my little sis.
I only wish I could have come sooner. And, sir, do let me apologise for before. I was very forward. I would never have kissed you if I'd known
Now,
when...
Ima, listen. Don't tell your sister anything about these lessons you are having, and don't tell your mother either. We must keep it a secret, so that later we can surprise them both with your ability. Send all of your accounts for this young lady's tuition to me, and give her 10 lessons a day. It'll keep her out of mischief.
It would be my pleasure, sir.
Oh, Jack!
My wife. She mustn't see you here. Ima, take Miss White into the garden. Have another lesson right away. Out you go. Enjoy the sunshine.
All right. Come along, Miss White.
How do you do, ladies?
Hello.
Doc, you get out of here and stay out. I'm busy. You'd better go along with the girls. My wife's coming. Go on, beat it.
Jack!
Too late. Hello, sweetheart.
Darling, tell me, whatever have you done to Mother? She's in an awful state. Says that some horrible ruffian threatened to shoot her on your orders.
A ruffian on my orders? My dear, I don't understand.
Well, that's what she said, and she described him to me. Why, there he is. Oh, that's the man she described. A hard-looking, villainous old reprobate with a red nose. Jack, is that he?
That? That? Why, certainly not. Sounds a lot like Father Christmas, if you ask me. And your mother is far too old to still believe in such nonsense. Don't you know who this is, my dear?
No.
Did I never show you his photograph?
I don't recall you did.
But surely you heard me mention him. Uncle Berry Whistle?
Uncle Berrywhistle.
Yes, of course. Uncle Berrywhistle from Australia. I haven't seen him for years. He went over there when I was a boy. He's done awfully well. Got a sheep mine.
A sheep mine?
Oh,
Really?
yes. Oh, he's got ever so many sheep. Millions of them. How many sheep have you, Uncle?
2.
He means 2 millions, but he can't think that high. Uncle, I told you in my letter about getting married. This is Stella. Stella, this is Uncle Berrywhistle.
Well, Uncle, it's so nice to make your acquaintance.
My charming niece, let me give you a hug.
Oh! If you insist. Why, Uncle Berrywhistle, you're stronger than you look.
Cut it out. She bruises easily.
Well, this is a surprise. But now, Uncle dear, I must get a room for you.
Oh, really, dear, I don't see how we can manage it.
We are rather full up, but I think I can manage if you don't mind a smallish room at the top of the house.
A smallish room is no good for such a biggish uncle. Don't forget, dear, he's Australian. He's used to wide open spaces. What about the stable? He smells like a horse anyway. Yes, he smells like 2 horses.
Oh, well, you can give him your room, can't you, Jack?
Why, certainly. I never thought of that. Would you like my room, Uncle?
Oh, I should love it.
Well, you're not going to get it. No, my dear. I think Uncle would prefer his hotel. Say yes, or I'll murder you.
Yes, my dear, I think the hotel is best.
Oh, no, Uncle. I must insist that you stay in the house with us.
Well, since you will have Uncle Berrywhistle stay with us, he must have the rose room.
Oh, but Jack, I cannot give him the rose room. Mother has that.
Well, then she will have to get out of it. Uncle shall have the rose room and no other.
I heard the bell.
Ah, Sally. You will go upstairs to Mrs. Nagg and tell her that she is to vacate the rose room immediately and go sleep in the stable with the other old nags. Tell her my Uncle Berrywhistle from Australia is going to have that room.
Yes, sir.
Jack, this is terrible of you. Mother will be so upset.
I don't care if she's upset. She's upset me often enough. I want to make my uncle comfortable.
Who is this man who wants to sleep in my bed?
I don't know who he is, but whoever he is a hero.
You cannot sting me, you viper.
Do you mean me?
Yes, I do.
Why, Mother, what do you mean?
There's that crazy woman.
Yes, that's my mother-in-law.
Oh, treachery. My child, what a dreadful plot. My son-in-law is to be capable of this. Oh, my dear, I shudder at your fate. In all the bloom of your youth, to be so deceived.
Mother, what on earth do you mean?
What have I done?
Your villainous husband has hired a hired assistant there.
Me?
Yes, you have threatened to turn me out of the house, threatened to shoot me.
Shoot you? Why? Jack?
I never said anything of the sort, but it's a good idea. Did I, Uncle?
Why, no,
Silence, sir. Shut up.
Mother, how can you talk to Uncle Berrywhistle like that?
Yes. How dare you talk to Uncle Berrywhistle like that?
That's not your Uncle Whistleberry.
Berrywhistle, madam. Berrywhistle, from Australia.
What part of Australia?
Yeah, Johannesburg.
That's in India, you fool.
Stella, read the note that Mr. Gay received this morning. I told you I would see it, and I have. I found it in the stairs where he dropped it. Read it and judge for yourself.
She's found the note about the piano.
That was careless of you.
Come for your darling at once, Tilly. Oh, Jack! How could you?
Damn it all, madam. This is your work, and I want an explanation. By what right do you come into my house and cause all this upheaval? Don't you think I have troubles enough without you increasing them, you old battle cruiser?
How dare you insult my mother like that? Is it not enough that you have deceived me?
Deceived you?
Without heaping insults upon the mother who bore me.
She bores me too.
She has opened my eyes and shown you in your true light.
What is she talking about?
I give up.
As for you, sir, go back to Australia with the rest of your sheep.
That'll make 3.
There, my child. I will not abandon you, but stand boldly by your side. And I thank heaven! I'm here to protect you. Here to tear the mask from that villain's face.
Oh, put a sock in it.
Yes, put a pair of socks in it.
Oh, you pack of demons. You nest of vipers. You biting adders.
I found the varnish and a brush, so we can begin at once to make you well again. Oh, what is the matter, my dear? Calm yourself.
What do you want?
I'm going to varnish your legs.
What? What are you doing? Noah! Vipers all!
With that happy thought, we leave the family as they tend to Arabella, who has fainted while her devoted husband Noah tends furiously to her legs as the doctor ordered. So far, we have discovered what no one in the Nag family have discovered. That Willie and Sally are married and have a baby. Stella and Arabella are convinced that Jack is having a dalliance with a mysterious woman named Tilly. There's a surprise in the summer house, and you should never varnish your wife's legs, even under doctor's orders. What will happen next? Well, we will soon find out, but not before we take a short break. C. Farmer & Sons, manufacturing chemists of the medical profession since 1878, bring you their latest product, Vanish Toilet Soap. Stars and starlets alike use Vanish. They use it in their studio dressing rooms, and at home too. Why, you ask?
That's easy. Vanish toilet soap is skillfully made with the finest possible ingredients. More important, Vanish toilet soap has active lather that offers you protection against careless cleansing.
But will it make my skin glow?
Your skin will shine. Don't risk skin dullness, tiny blemishes, or enlarged pores. Use cosmetics all you like. Vanish toilet soap's active lather removes all of these and more. When you're next in stores, remember to ask for the soap that the starlets use.
Vanish toilet soap. Heavy makeup, make it go. A lovely glow from top to toe. Vanish toilet soap for all places. Vanish toilet soap.
It's great for faces.
To clear up all your clogged pores, use the soap that starlets adore. There's nothing it can clean. Your wondrous complexion will attract attention. Blemishes be banished. Make life much more glamorous. Make your man more amorous with Vanish.
We return to the home of Jack Gay and his wife Stella. It is now early afternoon, and we have moved outside to the garden. Sally is waiting impatiently for Willie to return from her cousin Tilly's with their darling little one so she can sneak him inside the house and keep their dearest secret.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa!
Willie, is that you? Did you get the baby?
No, Tilly was out.
Dear, whatever shall we do?
Don't worry, I'm going back again directly.
We must get the baby here soon. Tilly will be waiting to leave. She's just phoned me again.
Of course this would happen the very day Mother arrived. Catastrophe seems to dog her very footsteps.
And her legs. What a fool that father of yours was to varnish her.
He was only obeying doctor's orders.
Surely no doctor would ever order a patient's legs to be varnished.
Oh, I don't know. They order patients' throats to be painted. Anyway, Mother is kicking up a ruckus about it. She can't get her stockings off. They're all dashing about the house like a lot of lunatics, trying to get the varnish off. It's going to be an awful job smuggling the baby up to your room, Sally.
I agree. Let me think. Wait, I've got a better idea. You trot over to Tilly's place, get the baby, and put him here in the summer house. After dark, I can slip out and get him indoors. Nobody will ever see him then.
By Jove, that's a great idea! And then, if I win the fight tonight, we can introduce our little son and heir to the whole family. That'll be another little shock for Mother.
More like an electrocution. I do believe they're going to be furious. And if you ask me, your sister will have a fit when she finds she's sister-in-law to her own parlour maid.
We shouldn't worry about that. I know I'm married to the dearest, sweetest, most charming little lady in the whole world.
Oh, bless my soul.
Oh.
Hello, Father. You see what I'm doing, don't you?
Well, no. What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious? I'm getting a fly out of Sally's eye.
Yes, a fly in my eye.
Oh, I see. That's what you're doing, is it?
Yes, that's it. I don't suppose you've got a fly in your eye by any chance?
No. My eyes are in quite good order, thank you. Is it a very big fly? Perhaps it's a horse fly.
No, I think it's a mayfly.
Then it may fly out.
It's quite all right now, thank you, Mr. Willie. Your wife was looking for you in the house just now, Mr. Nag.
Yes, I know. That's why I am in the garden. Willie, I thought perhaps we might take a little walk for a few days.
A few days?
Yes, just a little walk. Not long at all.
No, I can't do that.
Why not?
Well, you see, it's like this. I've got somewhere to go.
Oh, excellent. I'll go with you.
Yes. Later, but not now.
But I can go just as well now as later.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I don't think it would be fair to let you. You see, the place I've got to go to is some distance from the other place, and besides, it's much further to come back. There. That's plain, isn't it? You're surely not afraid of Mother, are you?
Afraid? Oh, no, I'm not afraid. I'm terrified.
Poor Mr. Nag. Why don't you go away?
Away?
Yes, a long way, out of her reach.
There's no place on this earth out of my wife's reach. You know, of course, she's temporarily insane.
Temporarily?
Well, Dr. Knott says so. He thinks she's crazy.
He must be a very good doctor.
When people go crazy, they are not to be trusted. They sometimes turn their backs on their best friends. She's turned on me all right.
How's your head, Mr. Nag?
Still sore, I'm afraid. That's what you get for carrying out the doctor's orders. She's a very powerful woman. Add to that the doctor's diagnosis.
Surely the doctor's mistaken, Mr. Nag. I don't believe people go insane suddenly and without cause.
Ah, well, that's the point. Is it sudden? Dr. Knott thinks it's been coming on for several days.
Surely you would have noticed it, Mr. Nag.
No, she's been behaving as usual. That's what makes me think the doctor may be right.
Well, why don't you run indoors and see if she's any better?
Don't be silly, child.
But you're not as frightened of her as all that, are you?
Let us call it discretion. Discretion is the better part of valour.
I think she objected to the varnish, but they may have got it off by now.
He distinctly told me to varnish her legs, and I did so. And this is how she thanks me. I said, "You're not angry with your little king, are you?" And then she crowned me with a silver coffee pot. I ran to Dr. Johnson's and he put 7 stitches in it.
Good gracious!
And then he charged me 7 guineas.
7 guineas?
Yes, a guinea a stitch. And I said to him, "Doctor, all I wanted was some plain sewing, no fancy embroidery."
Well, I must be off. Sally, look after the old man.
I'm coming with you.
You can't.
Well, where are you going?
I'm going to the gymnasium.
Gymnasium?
Yes, my sparring partners are waiting for me.
Are they? We both seem to be in the same boat.
Well, anyway, you can't come with me.
Well, then where can I go?
I don't care where you go, but you're not coming with me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nag. You've made your bed and I'm afraid you'll have to lie on it.
Well, maybe I shall, but not tonight. Tell me, Sally, Where does that little path lead?
Oh, that leads to the gooseberry bushes.
Thank you, Sally. That's just the place for me. I'll hide in the gooseberry bushes. She'll never find me there.
Poor Mr. Nag.
Sally,
Yes, sir.
anyone about?
No one, sir.
Oh, come out, Doc. Let's risk it. There may be an ambush, but I doubt it.
Are you sure? I don't want to run into that mother-in-law of yours.
I shouldn't mind running into her.
What?
With a steamroller.
She told me she would have my life, and I think she means it.
You bet she means it.
That woman is dangerous.
Dangerous? She's positively deadly. Doc, before she arrived, everything was peaceful and serene. Within 30 minutes of her arrival, the birds stopped singing and the flowers began to droop. I tell you, she has turned the place into a positive madhouse. There's only one thing in my mind at the moment, and that's straightening this thing out with my wife.
I'll say you're some optimist. How do you propose to start?
That's just it. How?
Why don't you just run into the house and see her?
Why don't I? Because her mother won't let me, that's why. By Jove, Doc, she has taken a terrible dislike to our little scheme.
About the piano?
It must be the piano. I know of nothing else. I told you she hated music, but I don't see why she should go off the deep end about it. Confound it. Anyway, it's none of her business. That piano is for my wife.
Well, why don't you give it to her and have done with it? Let's shift it into the house right now.
It's no use. She locked herself in her room, and I can't even get at her. If I could only get a note to her, I could straighten the whole thing out. But how to get the note to her? That's the question. There she is, locked in her room, and her mother doing picket duty with a pickaxe. Can't get within 30 yards of her. What do you suggest?
I was thinking it might be a good idea to see her husband.
Old Noah? I don't know where he is. He's probably dead by now. Don't forget, she was massaging him with a coffee pot when we beat it out of the house.
Jack! Jack!
Good heavens, Doc. Look who's here. Mickey Mouse, alive and breathing. Where have you been? We've been looking all over for you.
I was hiding in the gooseberry bushes, and a pigeon kicked me. Oh, Jack, this has been a terrible day for me. It's a wonder I'm alive.
You bet it's a wonder you're alive. Now see here. You take a tip from me and go far away from here. This is no place for you.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Why not? You've got plenty of money. Why not take a nice long voyage around the world, all by yourself, and get away from that old cat?
Please do not refer to my wife as an old cat.
Well, if you think I'm going to refer to her as a kitten, you're crazy.
You may not be aware of it, sir, but I love my wife.
Did you hear that, Doc? He loves Arabella. That's the best one I've heard today. He loves his wife. There's no accounting for taste. Some people like spinach.
I was a happy man until I came to your house, Mr. Gay.
And I was a happy man before you came into mine. For goodness sake, don't blame me for your troubles. It's your own fault bringing that rotten old piano of yours down here. Do you know, Doc, I've often wondered how he managed to pluck up enough courage to propose to her. I would love to have a snapshot of him on his bended knees, whispering sweet words of love into the show-like ear of that big stevedore. You should have remained single and had a hobby. Why didn't you buy yourself a mechano set or raise bees?
Bees?
Certainly. Could have got stung any worse.
I tell you, I was happy. This would never have occurred if Dr. Knott hadn't told me to varnish my wife's legs.
I never told you anything of the kind.
Don't attempt to deny it. You distinctly told me to varnish her legs.
Don't be silly. I wasn't referring to your wife. I was referring to the piano.
The piano?
Certainly.
Well, I wasn't talking about the piano.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought you were.
Oh, heavens. Well, now I see how it happened.
Anyway, that explains everything. Now, all you've got to do is run along indoors and explain matters to your wife.
And we'll come in later on.
Yes, I think I will. No, I don't think I will after all. I think I'll write her a letter instead.
Oh, damn that piano.
That's what I say. It has caused an aching void in my family life.
That piano has caused more trouble than an earthquake. I wish I'd never seen the wretched thing.
So do I. I gave it to my wife as a present and got 7 stitches in my head as a receipt.
Well, let this be a lesson to you.
In speaking that line, give the emphasis to the word love.
Say, Doc, there's your girlfriend.
Look at these 3 poor, miserable men. They all look as though they're going to a funeral.
Oh, I wish I were. To my own funeral.
Won't be long now.
Poor old father.
worry, dear. Everything will come out all right.
Even the stitches.
I'm sure this whole thing is just a little misunderstanding.
There's no misunderstanding about the coffee pot.
Well, why don't you go indoors and straighten it out for us?
Oh, no. I'm busy with my pupil, Dr. Knott. Nothing will induce me to face Mrs. Nagg. From all accounts, she's in rather a dangerous mood.
Oh, I knew it. Oh.
Well, I'm not going to be kept out of my house by the whims of that old dragon.
Dragon!
I've had enough of her damn nonsense. Now I'm going to get a note to my wife and settle this thing once and for all. Who's got a piece of paper?
Here's a letter from my tailor. You can write on the back of that.
Anything important in it?
Dear sir, unless you pay this bill...
That'll do. I'll fix this up in no time.
Come along. We'll leave Mr. Gay to concentrate. Let's go down to the rotunda and have a little rehearsal. Come, Mr. Nagg. You are to play the part of a Roman gladiator.
He couldn't play a Roman candle.
Me? A Roman gladiator? I feel more like a bruised lily.
Oh, do come along, Father. It's merely to help me along with my studies.
Certainly. It'll take your mind off your troubles.
Oh, please do. Come along.
Well, my dear, I want to do anything I can to please you all. If you think I look anything like a Roman gladiator, I'm quite willing to try, but I don't feel it. Indeed, I don't.
There's nothing to prevent you feeling like a wounded gladiator, is there?
I can't gladiate with 7 stitches.
And you, Doc, you are to play the part of a Scotch warrior.
Oh, that'll suit you, Doc. Anything with Scotch in it.
I'm partial to a bit of Scotch myself.
Are you writing a note to your wife?
I am. I think this will do the trick. You see, Doc, I'm not asking her to believe me at all, but simply to trust the evidence of her own eyes. I have told you how she likes music. You just wait until she sees that piano. Everything will be okay. Sally? Sally?
Yes, sir.
Listen, Sally, I want you to do something for me. I have here a note for Mrs. Gay. I cannot deliver it to her myself for reasons of a purely private nature, so I am going to appoint you my agent in the matter.
Yes, sir.
That's a good girl. Now, provided that note doesn't get intercepted by that old crocodile Arabella, everything will be okay.
Did Dolly say something about Scotch?
Not Scotch in a bottle.
Well, I don't care if it's in a bucket. I'm going to it.
I'll come with you. I can come back later and straighten this out. Let's go watch that rehearsal.
As Jack and Doc cross the lawn to watch Eimer and Dolly rehearse with Noah in tow, we see Willie sneaking in the back gate with his arms full. It seems that he was successful and he has collected the baby. He looks anxiously around, then runs to the summer house and enters it. At the same time, the ladies leave the house to stroll the gardens. Stella has been crying and Arabella is still fuming with righteous wrath.
Oh, Mother, please do leave me alone.
Leave you alone? Certainly not. You don't know how to rule a husband. That's the matter with you.
One doesn't attempt to rule a man one loves.
Oh, rot. Piffle. Men are children, nothing else. Look at your father. Look at his idea of a joke. Plastering me with varnish.
I can't believe in Jack's deceitfulness. It's not a bit like him.
Every man is a bundle of deceit. I know. I've had experience of it.
I'm sure there must be some mistake. Come for your darling at once. Tilly.
Well, she asked him to come for her. Isn't that proof positive?
I don't know.
Don't throw it away. We shall need that note as evidence. I picked it up on the stairs this morning. It must have fallen out of his pocket. Oh, Willie, my dear, I'm so unhappy.
Why? Won't the varnish come off?
Don't mention varnish in my presence.
Oh, sorry, Mother.
So I should hope.
It's all about Jack. I have proof he is carrying on a secret flirtation.
Jack, don't be silly. Jack wouldn't do a thing like that.
How do you know? You're a mere boy.
I don't know what to do about it.
I know what I'd do. I'd divorce him.
Oh, be quiet, Mother. You're only making matters worse. Stella, what's the name of the woman old Jack is supposed to be keen on?
Tilly.
Tilly? That's strange.
And why is it strange, pray?
Oh, No reason. No reason at all. Only it's rather an uncommon name, don't you think?
I think it's decidedly common name, and the name of a common person.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I do. And what is more, I'm going to confront my son-in-law with the evidence.
Evidence? What evidence?
I beg your pardon, madam. A note from Mr. Gay.
Very well. You may go. A note from Jack. Oh, I won't read it. Oh, yes, I will. It may be an explanation.
An explanation?
Dear Sir, unless...
What?
Oh, it's on the back.
On whose back?
The note. All right, here it is. Listen. My dear wife...
They always start like that.
My dear wife, if you will look in the summer house, you will find the cause of all our trouble. I meant to give you one sooner, but I did not think we could afford it. I know it is not a very handsome one, but it is the best I could do. Please accept it with my love, Jack. Whatever can it mean?
It's some trick, I'll be bound. We'll look in the summer house and see for ourselves. Oh, my God!
Oh! What is it? Ah! It's a baby!
I knew I was right. So that's the meaning of the note he received this morning.
Oh, Mother! It must be a practical joke.
Joke? This will be no joke for Jack Gay. You must not remain another moment under his roof. You must come indoors at once and pack your things. Tomorrow we will go to the lawyers and commence proceedings for divorce. Your husband is rich, isn't he? Very well. We'll make him pay for this, the wretch. We'll divorce him!
While Arabella marches her eldest daughter to the lawyers, Willie and Sally can finally reunite with their baby in the summer house. Sally, is he all right?
Yes, perfectly, bless him. Mama's little darling.
They didn't see him, did they?
Who, dear?
Mother and Stella.
Of course not. They've got too much on their minds as it is.
I don't like the idea of leaving him here until dark.
Neither do I.
I think we can take a chance and get him up to your room. They're all down by the rotunda rehearsing some rot or other, and Mother and Stella are shouting blue murder in the drawing room.
If you take my advice, you'll not see your husband before you go.
I can't leave without seeing him. He may deny it.
Of course he'll deny it. What man wouldn't?
He may ask for my forgiveness.
Of course he will. And if he does, you'll weaken.
Well, I suppose I can please myself about that.
If you let this scoundrel talk you over, I'm finished with you, so there.
There's more drama in the drawing room than the rotunda. But with everyone distracted, we can get him inside.
I'll slip in the back way and take him upstairs to my room.
That's the idea. And for goodness' sake, don't let anyone see you. Now, I'll make sure the coast is clear.
You're no trouble to anybody. Mama's little darling.
All clear. The coast is all right.
Stella, it's Jack. You must listen to me.
I'm listening.
Oh, Jack. How could you?
How could I what?
Be careful what you say, sir. I'm here, don't forget.
I'd give £100 if I could forget that.
Rude creature.
Better than a monster. Stella, darling, you received my note?
Yes, sir. She did receive your little note.
And you have looked in the little summer house?
We have looked in the little summer house.
I'm not talking to you.
No, but I'm talking to you.
You're always talking to somebody. It's a damn bad habit. If you want to reach me, write me a letter, and then I don't have to read it. Well, dear, how do you like it? Is it not a wonderful surprise?
It is not! Oh, it's too cruel!
Stop tormenting her, you coward!
Keep quiet. Why can't you let Stella speak for herself? She can surely say whether she likes it or not.
It is the worst kind of insult to even ask such a question. How dare you bring that hateful thing here? How dare you?
I brought it here because I thought you wanted one in the house.
The cold-blooded villain. Oh, the monster!
Now, you will admit it would look nice in the drawing room.
That? In the drawing room?
Do you think I would allow my daughter to have it in her drawing room?
And why shouldn't your daughter have one in her drawing room? The best people in town have them in their drawing room.
I don't see how you can possibly know what the best people have.
Oh, being sarcastic as well as ugly, are you? Allow me to tell you, Mrs. Nagg, that I move in very high society in this town.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. And there isn't one of my friends who hasn't done the same for his wife as I have done for mine. And their wives were all delighted.
Delighted indeed. What nonsense.
Of course they were delighted. Harrison gave his wife one 3 weeks ago, and she was tickled pink. Watson gave his wife 2. One for the drawing room, and one for the library. And that old sea captain, Captain Peterson, down there at the Gables, had one sent all the way from China. You know how careless sailors are? Well, it appears he said it left it in Shanghai 2 years ago, so he sent for it. And when it arrived, his wife was so pleased, well, there's another one on the way. I think every married woman is entitled to at least one. Why, if your mother had behaved herself, I might have given her one.
All I can say is it is disgraceful.
Disgraceful, eh? Is that my reward for all my trouble? I knew your mother wouldn't like it, but I didn't think you would object.
You didn't think she would object?
Oh, lie down and die. You exhaust me.
I will not lie down and die. What sort of wife do you think you married anyway?
Stella would have been all right about this if you hadn't interfered.
Indeed, I wouldn't. There are limits.
You bet there are limits, and your mother is all of them.
I wasn't prepared for such a brazen attitude. If you had denied it, or tried in any way to show repentance for what you'd done, I might have forgiven you in time. But this, this is unpardonable.
I say, Stella, you have been worked up by this poisonous old hag.
Old what, sir? Allow me to tell you, sir, that in my time I was considered a great beauty and was very much sought after.
Who by? The police?
No. Colonel Watson, the big game hunter, was always after me.
Oh, you bet he was after you, with an elephant gun.
Be quiet! I won't have you insult my mother this way. If only I had known what kind of man you were, you'd never have persuaded me to marry you.
And if I had known what a narrow-minded woman you are, you wouldn't have seen my heels for dust.
What are you going to do about that thing in the summer house?
I'm going to have it taken away, so let that end it.
Do you think we're such fools as to let the matter end here?
By what right do you interfere?
The right of a mother, sir. By this time tomorrow, you will know what our intentions are from our lawyers.
Hello, ladies.
What is that man still doing here? Are we to be surrounded by villains?
Me? I think you mean him.
Oh, don't be daft, man. She's the villain. A snake in the grass. Proof?
But I say, surely they're not making a song and dance about this little surprise packet in the summer house.
Well, they certainly are. It seems very unpopular.
Nobody asked you to intrude on our conversation.
Oh, all right, I'll go.
You stay where you are.
It is my belief that you are nothing more than a rank impostor, and you know more than you care to say about this little surprise packet, as you call it.
Well, I certainly had something to do with it.
Of course he did. He helped me.
There, you heard that? There's evidence if ever there was.
Now, ladies, I can straighten this out in no time.
Oh, tell me the truth, please. My life's happiness is at stake.
Well, it's like this. Your husband suggested having it put in there so that I could tinker away at it before you saw it.
What?
You must understand, ladies, I'm a bit of an expert in that direction. I can work wonders with a hammer, some nails and a chisel.
A chisel?
Sure. I could see what was going wrong with this one. Its leg wanted easing off, so I broke it off, sawed off a couple of inches and stuck it on again with glue.
The monster.
I dare say I've made a bit of a mess, but we can soon clean that up. And when we get it indoors, it will make twice the volume of sound.
Good gracious! The man talks like a butcher. And you, Jack, you consented to having it treated in this manner? You, a man I had always considered the soul of kindness.
I don't see that it matters to you how it's treated. You don't want it.
The man is absolutely callous. And as for you, Uncle Berry Whistle, you ought to be in jail. Come on, Stella, let's go.
Well, what do you know about that?
Did you ever meet a woman like it in your life? All this fuss over a rotten old piano.
I say, where are you going?
I'm going to find old Nag and make them tell him that it's his.
Dr. Knott, at last I found you alone.
Oh, is somebody else looking for me?
I wonder if I can coax you to keep our secret. You know the secret I mean? I had to conceal my feelings somehow.
Your feelings? It must have been love at first sight.
It was. Oh, it was. But I didn't want anyone else to know.
Quite so. Bashful, no doubt.
From the moment I saw you, I knew my life's happiness depended on you.
Oh, here's a right turnaround for old Doc Knott.
I know I've been indiscreet, but you mustn't blame me.
Blame you? My dear girl, how could you help it?
Then you do admire my choice?
Well, you might have travelled farther and fared worse.
I know people will say I might have chosen a handsomer man.
Oh, I don't know.
And a richer one too. But what does that matter? Why, if it came to that, I could earn enough for the both of us.
I'm very glad to hear that. No, I can't.
Then you will keep our secret?
Eh? Oh, yes, of course.
And some day we can declare our marriage to all the world.
It would make all my dreams come true. The sooner the better.
Yes, that's what I say. Oh, Doctor, you are so good.
That's all right, my dear. Or should I say, darling?
Oh! What are you doing? Unhand me, sir.
Sally, I am surprised.
But, sir, I never...
Jack?
Well, I'm hanged. You messy old medico. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I leave you alone here for a minute and find you kissing Sally.
Sally, what's the matter? What's that? Who's kissing who?
Oh, what do you think, William? Doc here has just been kissing Sally.
I don't believe it. It's a lie.
Saw it with my own eyes.
Well, we'll see about that. Sally!
Now, what the hell's the matter with Willie? Where can he be going in such a hurry?
Sally is in tears, which doesn't seem to surprise or deter Doc, and Willie is angry and confused. Well, let's not forget that Sally and Willie are secretly married, and he thinks she's been kissing Doc. And how will Jack win back Stella? She thinks he's gifted her a baby. The plot thickens, especially when Arabella hides in a bush as Jack and Doc plot their next move.
Did you find the old nag?
Happily, I didn't run into her, and I couldn't find her husband anywhere either. But the secret of the summer house is going to be cleared up right now.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Never mind.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to destroy it. I know it's a wicked thing to do, but there will be no peace in the house while it is here.
Oh.
Do you want it?
Never. Far too much work to look after. One of those in my hands, they make nothing but noise.
True. Well, something's got to be done about it.
Yes, you've got to get it off your hands.
Let's take it out to the woodshed and chop it up in small pieces. Then we'll bury it deep down in the ground and no one will ever hear of it again.
That'll be a hard job.
This is what we'll do. You remember where they were doing that blasting this morning? Well, the foreman is a friend of mine. Tell him I sent you to get a stick of dynamite from him. Bring it back here and we'll blow the darn thing up, summer house and all. They want excitement around here? Well, we'll give them some.
Willie! Willie!
What is it now, Mother?
This foul murder must be prevented!
Oh, don't talk such rot, Mother. I haven't got time for amateur dramatics. I'm looking for Sally, and I cannot find her anywhere.
Will you listen to me? You must go to the police station immediately or there'll be a murder done in this house.
Have you been arguing with Father again?
Oh, how can you be so callous?
I've got to find Sally, and then I've got to get to the gymnasium to train. Send someone else. Or better yet, leave Dad alone.
Why does nobody listen to me? I tell you, a murder is being planned under our very noses, and the victim is a poor, little, innocent baby.
A baby?
Yes, a baby. A baby arrived here today. Jack and that murderous-looking Dr. Knott are planning to murder it.
Good heavens!
Run, quickly. They're desperate. Get an officer.
Guard that baby until I get back. Jack must be a raving lunatic.
He's worse than that.
If anything happens to that baby...
You'll excuse me. I have better things to do than to speak with you.
There you are, you villain. Come back here, sir. We'll soon have you and your imbecile uncle behind prison bars.
Now what's the matter?
The matter? Hark at him. His soul stained with the sin, and he asks, what's the matter? But I'll put a stop to your foul plan.
There's something very mysterious going on here.
Oh, it's no mystery to me, Mr. Gay.
Well, it's a mystery to me. I've always known you to be a wicked old mischief maker.
Mischief maker?
Look here, Mrs. Nagg. You take a delight in butting into my affairs, but you've gone a bit too far today, and I want an explanation.
Explanation indeed. That's decidedly rich. Perhaps you can explain why you brought that miserable object here.
I brought it here because I thought it would amuse my wife.
Amuse her? You must have an extraordinary sense of humour.
Well, whether I have or not, it's going to be done away with.
Oh.
So that's that.
Is it?
Yes, it is. And quickly, too.
You coward.
Coward, eh? To destroy what's my own?
Your own, is it?
Yes, my own. And I'm sorry I ever had the damn thing.
Yours and whose? Tell me that.
Well, I will tell you. I'm really only taking care of it for a friend.
Oh, I see. Now we're going to learn something.
You've got a lot to learn, and it's time you did. That which you call a miserable object is only mine by adoption.
Ha! Thin excuse. And not in the least original.
It's more yours than mine, anyway.
Oh. Stop being ridiculous. Explain yourself, Mr. Gay.
I told you I was taking care of it for a friend.
And who is that friend?
Your old man, Noah Nagg.
Never.
Put that on your needles and knit it.
What? My husband? How dare you insinuate such a thing?
Yes, madam, your husband.
So you are trying to lie yourself out of this disgraceful affair by blaming it on my poor husband?
You needn't take my word for it. Ask him yourself. He said you hated the sight of it and wouldn't have it about the house. And as for that note you kicked up such a fuss about, that was Noah's too.
Oh, if only this proves to be true, I'll annihilate him.
I'd have said so before, only I didn't want to get the poor old Noah into trouble.
Trouble? Trouble is no name for what's coming to that man. Oh, to think that such a black heart should beat beneath a white shirt. So this is why Noah has been avoiding me all day, is it? Where is he? Where is he?
Don't ask me. He's liable to be anywhere.
When I get my hands on him, he'll wish he'd never been born. Come with me.
Go and find him yourself. I'm going to go find my wife.
Cowards, all of them. Noah!
Come along, Mr. Nagg. It's nice and quiet here, and we've ever so much more room. Let's just run through that scene once more.
No, really. I do think I ought to go and find my wife.
Oh, Father, don't be a spoilsport. When Mother wants you, she'll find you quickly enough.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of. It is always safer to find her first.
Now, you know, all this rehearsal is very good for Ima. She's got all the makings of a very good actress.
I'd like to do anything to help, but I really do think I ought to find Mrs. Nagg. I've got a feeling about it.
Well, we won't keep you long. Now, come, take your positions.
I've got a very strong feeling about it.
Ima, remember you are upstage. I'm sitting on the rustic bench, and Mr. Nagg?
Yes, Miss White.
Do please pay attention.
Yes, Miss White.
You are here behind me. Now, Mr. Nagg, let me see how well you can make love.
Oh, really? Oh, don't you think we could dispense with that part of it?
Certainly not.
Is it really necessary?
Of course. Now, come along now. Don't be bashful.
I wouldn't mention the word bash around Father, Miss White.
Ah, very well. Now, you know how they do it on stage. You come up behind me. You clasp me around my waist. You take my hand in yours and you breathe passionate adoration down the back of my neck. Go on, do that.
All of it?
Every little bit.
The neck part as well?
Well, that's the most important. Now, you know your first lines. It starts with, "Fear not, beloved. Here is your lover, brave and wild."
Oh, yes. I'm supposed to be wild. You couldn't make it mild, could you?
No, I could not.
One can but do one's best. Fear not, beloved. Here is thy lover, brave and...
Harness your passion, Mr. Nag. Release the wild stallion of emotion that lies within.
Stallion, yes. Nay. Fear not, beloved. Here is thy lover, brave and wild.
And can I always trust in you?
Always, even unto the end. You and your child shall be my only care.
My hero.
My love.
And no one will ever know?
No one will ever know.
Liar! No, come back here right now, you adulteress!
Dad! Dad!
Now what's the matter?
Mother suddenly got mad!
Ye gods, it's all my fault. Hey you, wait a minute.
What's the matter? Mother's going to murder for our father! Oh, good heavens!
What is it?
They've all gone mad!
Where's Jack?
Running up the road. I'm going to join them.
Well, I suppose I can do this just as well without him. I wonder which end of the dynamite you light. This must be it. Now for the big blowout. Into the summer house you go. What's the matter?
The summer house. I'm hiding there.
Mr. Nag! Mr. Nag!
Have you seen him, Miss White? No. Where are you? Arabella, put down that coffee pot.
Mother! Stop! Mother! Where are you? Don't come up, Pa! Mother, come the coffee pot! No one knows! Come out here this instant!
Quiet, everybody. Will you listen?
As the dust settles, we find Noah, now barely clad, emerging from the rubble of the summer house. The explosion has roused the curiosity of the neighbors, and a crowd has started to form. It has also caught the attention of the men in blue.
Don't be baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't be baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Welcome back to My Wife's Family. But first, let's hear from our sponsors.
Accidents will happen. Every good wife knows that when her hard-working husband arrives home, what will brighten his day is a hot meal on the table and a clean house. But when life gets a bit messy, you may need a helping hand.
Ouch! Oh dear, I seem to have cut my finger chopping carrots. Well, luckily, I've just finished cleaning with Sea Farmer & Sons tea tree oil. Its antibacterial properties derived from natural sources make it great for cleaning up countertops and cleaning knees or fingers. A natural clean for any little accident that may happen. It will get you out of the nastiest of scrapes. Oh, that'll be my husband. Good evening, dear. How was your day? Why, what on earth has happened to you?
On my way home, I was trying to grab Mrs. Gerwood's pussy.
Oh!
It was stuck in a tree, you see.
Well, at least you didn't have to get on your hands and knees. You may have ruined your new suit.
Very true. And in return for grabbing her pussy, I'm covered in scratches from the ungrateful feline.
Oh, you poor man. Next time you should try patting it first and waiting for it to purr. Never fear. I have Sea Farmer & Sons tea tree oil here, and I'll have you cleaned up in a jiffy.
Sea Farmer & Sons tea tree oil cleans up every situation.
It's great for any little accident that may happen.
Oh dear, not again.
Oh, don't worry, dear. I have Sea Farmer & Sons tea tree oil because accidents will happen.
We arrive back inside with our exhausted players. A policeman has arrived to investigate the allegation of murder most foul and discovered an exploded summer house, but no body. What of the baby who slumbered in the summer house? We shall discover soon enough.
Thank heavens you've come to the phone. Listen, Willie, you must win. Tell the other man, perhaps he'll let you. Things are in an awful state here. Jack, Dr. Knott and your father are all under arrest, and your mother's going mad, I think. What, dear? Oh, the baby. He's all right. I smuggled him up to my room, and he's sleeping through it all. No, he hasn't cried once. But we must get him away soon. If they find him here, we're finished. So please win, Willie, for our baby's sake.
Lies, treachery and deceitfulness, that's what it is. Lies. Nothing but lies.
Sally,
Yes, ma'am.
why are you creeping around upstairs on your toes?
If you please, ma'am, I've got chilblains on my heels.
Come here.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been behaving very strangely all day.
Me?
But so has everyone else. The poor girl's probably caught the family complaint.
And she's the only one here who isn't family. I don't see how you can possibly describe Father's weakness as a family complaint.
That will do. An unfaithful husband is bad enough with an impertinent daughter thrown in. You wait until I lay my hands on that actress.
For heaven's sake, don't start blubbering again. It's all your fault Jack and I have quarrelled. You've caused enough misery to others, and now you're getting some of your own medicine.
Please, ma'am, can I get you something?
Yes, that husband of mine. I'll deal with him. The deceitful hypocrite.
Please, ma'am, don't you think she ought to see a doctor?
Doctor? What for?
No more varnish.
He might give her a sleeping draught.
Oh, what use is the sleeping draught?
Well, ma'am, she's making so much noise she might wake
Who might she wake?
the neighbours, ma'am.
No doubt they're all awake and gossiping about us. You're puzzling me, Sally. It seems to me that you're concealing something.
Who, ma'am? Me, ma'am? No, ma'am.
Oh, this will all come out in the papers. What a fool I shall look. I should never be able to go home and face my neighbours.
I'm very sorry, Mother, but you've only yourself to blame.
Myself to blame? I like that. Even if my husband does bring a baby into the house, there's no reason why he should murder it in cold blood.
I'm ready to murder someone.
Oh, I cannot bear this. I cannot.
What is the matter with that girl?
Oh, don't be hard on her. No doubt she's gone to fetch my smelling bottle. She can see I'm terribly upset. She's got more sympathy for me than you have.
Well, you shouldn't give way so.
You gave way when you thought it was Jack's baby.
That's different.
I'd like to know how.
Well, Jack and I married for love.
Oh? Why do you think I married your father, please?
Because you were too mean to buy a hot water bottle.
How can you say such a thing?
And you call him a murderer on the first little excuse that turns up.
Little excuse? Do you call that horrible baby a little excuse?
How do you know Father is a murderer?
We both know the baby was in the summer house. And your father blew up the summer house to get rid of the baby.
You only suppose that. The police searched the ruins, but found no trace of a body.
It might have been blown clean through the roof. Not come back to earth yet. Anything may have happened. Oh, I'm the wife of a child murderer. Why doesn't that girl bring my smelling bottle?
Where is it? Where is it?
Good gracious, Sally. Don't make such a fuss. I expect it's where you last left it.
It isn't. It's gone.
I'll tell you where it is.
Where? Tell me where.
It's tucked away in my suitcase.
Oh! Oh, my poor darling! Oh! Oh!
She's very fond of me, that girl. She called me her little darling. That's more than you do.
The girl is hysterical.
Is it any wonder why? With your father behaving as he has. It's a miracle she isn't afraid to stay here. Murder's going on all around her. Oh, they'll hang him, that's what they'll do. I'll never get a chance to tell him what I think of him.
I'm not worrying what they'll do to your husband. What I'd like to know is, what am I to say to mine? I've treated him so disgracefully.
He's a poor sort of man if he can't stand that.
I'm not asking for your opinion.
To think that I should hear such words from my own daughter.
It's the truth. As soon as you've arrived, you started picking holes in Jack. You were full of hints and insinuations. And all the time, your own husband was fooling you under your very nose.
Oh, stop. I feel faint. I can't stand any more.
Oh, Mother, I'm sorry.
The world is spinning round and round.
Well, why doesn't that fool of a girl bring the smelling bottle? Sally, where are you?
It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
What have you done to that suitcase?
It was locked, so I cut it open.
You cut it open? Why didn't you ask for the key?
I couldn't wait. Oh, what shall I do? Where shall I find it?
Go and look for it, you stupid girl. I suppose if the truth is known, Willie has it.
Willie?
He had it in his hands before he went to the fight. He said to me he would only have to give his opponent one sniff of it and he'd be knocked out for good.
Willie said that? Are you sure?
I heard him. Besides, what has it got to do with you?
I want it.
Oh, nonsense, girl. Run out and get another one. Ring at Smith's side door. He'll soon give you one.
Oh, I can't stand this. I can't.
Oh, where is my smelling bottle?
It's all right, Mother. Sally has gone out to get you a new one.
Stella, dear, don't desert me. I'm very upset.
Yes, Mother, I know. You better go and lie down. I'll let you know as soon as news comes through of the prisoners.
Those terrible police can't leave us in suspense all night, can they?
I hope not. I'll ring the police station and try and find out something. Oh, my poor Jack.
My poor, foolish Noah.
Don't worry, Mother. As soon as Sally returns the smelling bottle, I'll send it up into you.
Stella?
Yes, Mother.
I wouldn't have minded so much about the baby if it hadn't been the image of its father.
Hello, Stella. I say, you do look worried. Where is everybody?
And where have you been all these hours? I haven't seen you since the explosion.
I was scared stiff. Where's Jack?
In prison.
And Father?
He's in prison too.
Prison? What on earth for?
Murder!
Murder? Who have they been murdering?
Oh, Jack hasn't murdered anyone. It's Father. He blew up his baby in the summer house.
His baby?
Yes. Mother found out it was Father's. We all thought it was Jack's at first. When Father saw that we'd found out, he blew up the summer house with dynamite and the baby in it.
Oh, good heavens. Then who on earth does that other baby belong to?
Other baby? What other baby?
The one I found in Sally's room.
The one you found in Sally's room? When did you find a baby in Sally's room?
About an hour ago. I was upstairs practicing my recitation when I heard a baby crying. I went to Sally's room, and there it was, lying on the bed and squealing like the blazes. The sound was so annoying.
Emma, are you joking?
Of course I'm not joking. I suppose I should have not said anything about it for Jack's sake. It was you talking about the other baby being blown up that made me mention it.
For Jack's sake?
Well, I suppose he's its father. He's the only married man in the house.
Ah! You shall thank me yet, Stella. I'll call the lawyers at once.
Oh, what a fool I've been. Oh, what a mercy I found out in time. My husband shall find a pretty bunch of trouble waiting for him when he comes out of prison. If he ever does come out.
But it's all right now.
All right, is it? No wonder that wretch of a servant has been behaving strangely all day. She's upset because her master, nay, her lover, has been arrested.
Well, I shouldn't let the baby worry you, Stella.
Why not?
I've got rid of it.
What?
I thought it would cause a lot of trouble if I left it there, so I took it down the back stairs.
Yes?
Well, just at the corner of the street, outside a public house, I saw a taxi standing.
Yes?
So I I just slipped the baby through the taxi window, left it on the seat and ran.
You left it in the taxi. Now I know why Sally was so upset. Oh, what a beautiful revenge. Beautiful. What a funny child you are, Ima.
Well, it seemed the best thing to do.
If it hadn't been for you, I might never have known the truth about Jack.
Where are you going, Stella?
I'm going to have a long talk with Mother.
2 things greater than all things are. Willie! Oh, you look truly frightening. You've lost the fight.
Don't you believe it? I've won.
Won? But look at yourself. What's happened to the other man?
He's still asleep. Now, where's Sally?
Sally? What do you want Sally for?
Never you mind. You'll know in good time. Buzz along and find Sally. There's a good girl.
But she isn't here, Willie.
Well, I can see that. I expect she's up in her room. She's got a little bit of business to attend to. Pop up and tell her I want her.
She isn't in her room, Willie. She's gone.
Gone? What do you mean by gone? How can she be gone?
Well, I think she's afraid of what Stella will say to her.
What about?
Jack.
Jack?
Yes. Stella knows all about it. Jack and Sally are lovers and there's going to be a fearful row.
You're quite right. There is going to be a fearful row.
Why have you got that revolver, Willie?
Where is my brother-in-law? Where is Jack Gay?
Oh, I've come to learn the latest. Look, here's the evening mail. They've arrested poor darling Dr. Knott.
3 arrested on murder charge? An explosion which occurred this afternoon in the summer house in the garden of Mr. Jack Gay, a well-known local resident, has resulted in 3 men being arrested for murder? And the police are searching the ruins for the body of a baby which is supposed to have been killed by the explosion. A baby! Ye gods! Baby!
Well, whatever does it mean?
I don't know, but it looks very much as though it's been raining babies.
Well, however could it rain babies?
Well, there's one that got blown up in the summer house. That's 1. Then the one I found in Sally's room. That's 2.
There stands the mother of my husband's child.
It can't be me.
Surely not. You don't mean me.
I do.
I've never seen your husband before today.
I don't believe it. You have ruined my home.
I've never seen your home, and what's more, if it's anything like its owner, I don't want to.
Listen to the shameless hussy. You've caused enough unhappiness here. I demand that you leave this house this instant.
But, Mother, this is Miss Dolly White. She's terribly clever. You don't know half the things she can do.
I know enough of what she can do.
Yes, and she's teaching me.
What? Teaching you? Why, with my own eyes I saw her embracing my husband.
That was nothing. Only practice. You ought to see her when she's really trying.
Ima, leave the room.
Oh, Mother, don't be so stuffy.
Leave the room this instant. Don't stand there talking to me, you little minx.
Oh, very well. Don't forget tomorrow, Miss White. We're going to try it out on the gardener.
You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
But surely, Mrs. Nagg, you wouldn't deny your husband a little harmless entertainment?
Men are all alike. A lot of morons.
Well, that's nothing to me. Mr. Gay knows all the details. He's paying my little bill.
You're making some mistake.
Oh, no, I'm not. Mr. Gay's your husband, I suppose.
How dare you? I warned you from the first about this husband of yours. I said he was a philandering good-for-nothing, and you wouldn't listen. Now you've got proof. First the servant, now this woman.
Don't you refer to me as this woman, if you please. I'm Miss White to you, and my visit here is purely in the course of my profession.
That's very evident.
In any case, Mr. Gay is not here at the present moment. Neither is anyone else who desires your company.
Don't go, Miss White. I want you to stay.
Oh, you foolish child. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't you? Well, I know one thing. You and Mother are out to prevent me from succeeding in my chosen profession. But it's not going to work. If you turn Miss White out, I shall go with her.
Such words, and straight from my youngest daughter's mouth. She's raving.
Like mother, like daughter, it seems.
Oh, no, I'm not. I know the sort of work I'm best suited for. And I'm going to be a big success, aren't I?
Oh, such a success. Now that I've had a chance to coach her, she cannot fail. Can't you see how wrong it is to curtail the child's natural talent?
Do you call kissing and canoodling other people's husbands natural talent?
Well, whether it's natural or not, it's a talent I can't imagine either of you possessing.
I won't be insulted like this. Leave the house.
She doesn't even deny that she was kissing my husband.
Why should I? I was paid to do it.
Paid? By whom?
Mr. Gay. He wanted Ima to be given every chance to learn.
My husband paid you to kiss my father?
Yes. And my God, I earned it. What's more, I've got 3 months' engagements to do it 4 times a week.
Then you're doomed to be disappointment. For my husband's in jail. I hope they hang him. The higher, the better.
Then it's a good job we fixed the gardener for tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow as far as that woman is concerned.
It's no business of yours, and I will not have you interfering. Jack expects great things of me, and I'm not going to disappoint him.
Jack? What Jack?
Your Jack. Our Jack.
He's after Ima now.
Oh, don't you stand there and talk like that to me, you wretched, precocious little minx.
Don't bully the child.
How dare you interfere? Go to your room, Ima. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to me now. I'm listening.
Miss White, will you go, or must I call the police?
You call the police? I like that.
Your husband has evidently given this woman to understand she has a right to be here.
Well, haven't I?
Of course she has.
Perhaps you will give me enough of your time to tell me how you first met my husband.
Certainly. I was introduced by Dr. Knott.
I knew it. That man's a professional homewrecker.
That's a lie.
Anyone can see what he is. Jack is in his clutches, that's the truth. And you're his accomplice.
Oh, you're both crazy, and I dare say it's the drink that's caused it.
Drink?
I think you're all making a fuss about nothing.
Nothing? Is it nothing that my husband and father have both turned out to be philanderers?
Well, I am fond of Jack. Why should I fib about it?
Oh, I could scratch you.
Mrs. Gay, you're in a dangerous state of insanity.
Oh, do you think that you're his favourite?
Where's your husband?
Why, Willie? What do you want with him?
He has stolen the only woman I have ever loved, and I'm going to kill him.
Another woman?
Another woman?
And now, Mrs. Gay, you really must calm yourself.
Calm myself? Calm myself? Get out of my sight, you snake in the grass. If you stay here another second, I won't answer for the consequences.
Yes, but you must listen to me.
I won't! I won't! Get out! Get out! And stay out!
Oh, very well. But if your husband wants me, he has my address. And don't forget, he owes me for the work I've already done.
Stella, do stop crying. Ima, to your room this instant.
But, Mother, perhaps there's some misunderstanding.
Go!
I've never heard such a fuss, and I don't even begin to understand.
Go!
Oh, very well. But I'm going to find Miss White, and I shan't go to bed, so there.
Oh, Mother, to think that Jack could treat me like this after all he has said about other husbands who are false to their wives.
I expect it's another woman after her precious husband. The horrid brute.
Hello? Yes? Who? The police? What? They're what? When? Thank you. That was the police. They've been released. All 3 of them.
Released?
Yes. They're on their way home.
Well, they are they? What about the poor defenceless little baby? Was that murder? Are the police going to ignore that crime?
Well, they didn't say. They merely said they are on their way home. Your husband, my husband, and that double-dyed scoundrel, Dr. Knott.
Soon to be ex-husbands. How dare they come here?
I can't face Jack tonight. I've been through too much today. I can't stand any more.
I can. I'm just getting into my stride.
Indeed she is. But as you all know, it ain't over until the fat lady sings.
Did he
So
call me
let us
fat?
see if she changes her tune as night descends. With Jack and Noah currently enjoying the hospitality of the constabulary, the ladies of the house, exhausted and distraught, have all retired for the night. All except for Sally, who is still searching for her baby. She has enlisted the help of Sergeant Trackham, who has returned with her to the darkened, gay home.
Come in, officer. This is the lounge. I don't know where they all are. I don't know what's been happening. All I know is I want you to find my baby. Take no notice of anyone you may see here. I think they're all mad. But please find my baby. You are a good detective, aren't you?
You simply have to be able to see what others cannot. My brain works a little differently to the average man's. Leave it all to me, ma'am.
All right. I'll go upstairs to my room. If you want me, come and fetch me.
Say, where is upstairs?
Up there. Up the stairs.
Yes, quite right. I thought it was, but one can never take anything for granted. I shall start my search down here. A door. Maybe it is the culprit returned to the scene of the crime.
Shh. Switch on the lights, can't you?
Wait till I find the switch.
Try feeling for it and you might find it. Ooh.
Doc, have you found the switch?
No, have you? It's your house after all, I'm just a guest.
There it is. That's funny.
What's funny?
No one's here. Where is everybody? There ought to be a blaze of light and a brass band to welcome the two criminals home, but the place was in darkness. Well, it's been a day, and on top of it all, we've lost poor old Noah.
I wonder what became of him.
I don't know. The last I saw of him, he was hopping into a taxi. By Jove, won't my wife be pleased to see me again?
I'll say she will. It's wonderful how a woman will cling to a man when he's in trouble.
That girl's got a heart of gold. You must see, Doc, that this is a very important moment in my married life. She knows that she has done me an injustice, and that all the pianos in the world are not worth falling out about. I don't want her to feel too guilty about it, understand? But I want to make the most of the present advantage I've got over her, and get rid of the old woman. She's at the bottom of it all. Great Scott, Doc.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You've said that once. Who are you? Where are you going?
I'm just going up to the little married ladies' room.
Hey, just a minute.
Don't upset yourself, I'm all right. I've been doing this for years. I know my way about here, I do.
Doc, did you hear that?
I did.
He said he was going to my wife's room.
He did.
Said he'd been doing it for years. Knows his way around. And I've always thought my wife the soul of honour, and here she has men calling on her when my back is turned.
For heaven's sake, Jack, don't do anything rash.
I've been all over this house, even up the back passage.
That was quick. If you'll take my advice, take yourself out the front door before he comes back and catches you.
Before who comes back and catches me?
The fellow who's just gone upstairs.
Oh, and who is he?
You darn fool. He's her husband. And what's more, he's got a very good idea what you're here for.
Oh, darn it. That's the last thing I wanted. She told me to keep quiet about my business in this house.
I'll say she did.
I suppose you know it's an absolute secret that they are married.
What? Look here, sir. Would you mind telling me how long you've been in love with Mrs. Gay?
How long? I'm not in love with Mrs. Gay.
You don't mean to say you're not in love with her?
Me? You must be mad.
What? You're not in love with her? And you're calling on her and deceiving her? Sir, you're a dirty dog.
You better be careful what you're saying. It strikes me you don't know what you're butting up against. Let me introduce myself. Sergeant Trackham, detective.
Ye gods, you're a detective?
Yes, and I think I'll get something here before the night is out.
Yes, you'll get a thick ear if Jack catches you.
Are you a member of the family?
God forbid.
Now, I may want a little help tonight, and you're just the man for the job. This baby, dead or alive, must be found.
Baby? See here, there's no baby. The whole cause of the trouble was the piano.
Don't you believe it? I know a baby has been made away with in this house today, and I don't leave these premises until the mystery is cleared up.
Yes, but are you sure you got your information from a reliable source?
What do you mean?
Well, between ourselves, I think there are one or two lunatics about this house.
Lunatics?
Yes.
That's what the maid tried to tell me.
Yes, dangerous ones.
Now, who, in your opinion, is the most dangerous of these lunatics?
Without a doubt, the old lady.
Old lady?
The old bird called Arabella. She's a scorcher.
Violent?
Violence would be second nature to that woman.
I see. In that case, perhaps I had better not let her see me for the moment.
It all depends on whether your life insurance is paid up.
As bad as that?
Worse.
You know, it strikes me I ought to phone for an asylum ambulance to take away the lot of them. What do you think?
I think it would be a very good idea. And while you're ringing up, I think I'll slip off home.
Oh, no, you don't. You stay right here with me. Don't you try and make a getaway.
Oh, I wish I'd never seen this place.
Hello? Hello? This is a police call. Put me through to the Hopwood Lunatic Asylum, please. Hello? Is that the asylum? Send an ambulance at once to Peacehaven.
Peacehaven. That's a fine name for this place.
And send an armed guard with it. There are a lot of dangerous ones here. Make it snappy. Now, until that ambulance arrives, you and I have got to humour this bunch. You just watch me work. You'll learn something.
What are you doing here? And who's that?
A good evening, madam.
You see, Mrs. Gay, this gentleman is a friend of mine.
And who gave you permission to bring your appalling friends into my house?
Since I'm on such a very good terms with your husband, I thought...
Oh, you and everyone else, it seems. Don't mention my husband to me. After what has happened in this house today, he is no husband of mine.
I suppose you mean the baby.
Of course. What else should I mean?
I wouldn't lose any sleep about it, madam.
Thank you so much for your concern, but I'm not answering to your views. I don't even know who you are.
I'm a detective, madam.
A detective? What are you doing here? I understand from the police my husband has been acquitted.
Oh, he's acquitted, all right.
There never was a baby at all, you know.
No baby?
Of course not. What you thought was a baby was a piano.
A piano?
Lots of people make the same mistake.
They do?
Well, they both sound very much alike.
They do. Even so. What about the other baby?
Which other baby?
Well, Jack's baby. The one that was in Sally's room.
Oh, that one.
Yes, that one. Do you mean to say my husband knew nothing about that?
Well, yes and no.
Oh, give me a straight answer, please.
Well, the only thing your husband did to that baby was to murder it.
Oh?
Oh, my wife, in the arms of her lover.
Does he mean you?
Not me, you.
Me?
You. The one with his wife in your arms. Now look here, Jack, don't excite yourself.
Release my wife at once.
Is this lady your wife?
You know darn well she is. You've been paying her attention for years. You said so just now. You're her lover.
Jack! How dare you!
You can drop that injured innocent stuff. I know what's been going on behind my back. Don't we, Doc?
We do? We do.
And we're not having any of it, are we?
We ain't.
Jack! Listen to me!
I won't. Step aside, wench, while I destroy this wrecker of homes.
Jack! You're making a mistake!
I made a mistake when I married you and your whole damn family.
Yes, and I made a mistake when I believed you to be the best and truest husband in the world.
I am.
But what about the baby?
What baby?
Oh, there are so many. I mean the one that you murdered.
Who says I murdered a baby?
Well, this detective.
What? Did you say I murdered a baby?
No, certainly not.
He did? He did. Here, a moment ago.
What right have you got to make such unfounded statements?
That is a lie.
What?
I found one of your babies upstairs in Sally's room.
One of them? What's the matter with me? Have I been working overtime, or am I going crazy?
You're as sane as a March hare.
Oh, then there was the baby in the summer house.
No, it isn't me that's crazy. It's my wife.
Let's talk about pianos.
Don't mention pianos to me, please.
What have pianos got to do with it?
Everything. Your mother is at the bottom of it all. She hates pianos, and as soon as she saw one in the summer house, she had us arrested for murder.
Heavens! They said there was a wreckage of a piano in the summer house after the explosion.
But no sign of a baby?
That's quite right. No sign of a baby. But I saw a baby there. Or didn't I? Oh, I must be going mad.
Going mad? Don't kid yourself. You've arrived. You're as bad as your mother. She told the police there was a baby here and had us arrested for murder.
And we've been acquitted.
But how do you explain all the rest of the evidence against you?
What evidence against me?
Oh, well, the other baby, your affair with that terrible actress, and your flirtation with my little sister.
My flirtation with Ima? My affair with the actress? The other baby? What shall I hear next? I know nothing of all this.
Oh, Jack, if only I could believe you. But it's impossible.
Look here, let's get all this straight. Who said this other baby was mine?
Ima?
Ima? Would you believe it? The pigtailed brat. So that's her gratitude for me for paying a woman to teach her elocution?
Elocution?
Certainly. That's what Miss White is doing here. She's an old boozing friend of the doc's.
That's not...
Silence! He got her in here to teach Ima elocution, and I'm paying for it.
Is that the truth?
Of course it's the truth.
Oh, Jack. Can you ever forgive me?
No, never. Leave my house and take your mother with you.
I'll forgive her.
Should I?
Oh, please, Jack, do.
Oh, very well. I'll forgive you on one condition. Never listen to your mother again.
Oh, I've been so mean and suspicious. Oh, Jack, dear.
You have.
It was all Mother's fault. She kept on and on and on about you.
I'm going to get rid of her.
He's planning to murder the old woman now.
We'll get rid of her in the morning, darling.
You bet we will. But we won't be waiting till morning. She goes tonight.
Stella, I'm ashamed of you.
Ah, enter little sunshine.
How dare you forgive that man after all he's done?
Oh. You've interfered in my affairs for the last time. You will leave this house for good. Tonight.
That's the woman I married. You heard her. Tonight. Leave this house for everybody's good. And the sooner, the gooder.
Don't you dare address me, you low wretch. Oh, if only you knew what I wish of you.
And if only you knew what I wish you pie-faced old flannelfoot.
Oh, throw me out, are you mad?
You bet I'm mad. And I'm getting madder every minute. I'll show you how mad I am.
Hands up, Jack!
Willie, what are you thinking? Put that gun away.
You and I have an account to settle.
Oh, you bet we have. You've been living on me for years. If it means that much to you, your mother can stay till tomorrow.
Never mind that now. I want Sally.
Don't you want the baby too?
The baby? By heavens, yes. Where's my baby?
Now, Willie, be calm. You want a baby?
Yes, I want my baby.
It's upstairs.
In Sally's room?
Sure.
I'll find it.
Ha! They're all crazy around here, except me.
Why doesn't that ambulance come?
Oh, Dr. Knott, you're here at last. There's more I need to tell you.
Oh, now we're off again.
About our marriage.
Our marriage?
Yes, I didn't tell you we had a baby. But the poor little fellow's been lost.
Has he really?
Oh, Doctor, you've been so kind, and I want to ask another favour of you. I want you to tell Mr. Gay we're married just as soon as Willie comes home.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I'm liable to be arrested.
What for? You know it's the truth.
I'm darned if I do. But if it would make you happy...
Oh, thank you, Doctor, thank you. Oh, Doctor, you are so good.
Sally!
Willie!
Doc! So that's the way the wind blows, is it?
Willie, what do you mean?
And I, like a fool, suspected Jack Gay.
Whatever are you talking about?
Hello? Is anybody home?
It's me! We've got the baby!
Another one?
They've got him.
I found Miss White outside. The taxi had gone, so we went to the police station, and they told us they'd sent it to the orphans' home.
The orphans' home? What terrible treatment! My poor darling baby!
We picked it up and rushed it back here.
But how did it get lost?
Oh, never mind that now. We've got it back. Ah! Well, this isn't ours!
Are you sure?
He's black.
If only that ambulance would come.
What's going on here? I refuse to be kept in the dark any longer. Tell me, what is going on here?
Whose baby's that?
Doc Knott's.
What?
Quiet, everybody. I'll explain everything.
I say, Doc, have you ever lived in Africa?
Certainly not.
Come here, Sally.
now what's going to happen?
Say yes to everything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our Sally here is a mother.
Of a baby?
No, of a horse and wagon. What's it got to do with you anyway? Do you know, I'm beginning to dislike you. Well, the baby you saw was Sally's.
A moment ago it was Dr. Knott's. It can't be Sally's. She's not married.
But she is. What?
What?
Not?
Yes, me.
You?
Sally's husband is a worthless, good-for-nothing dog. He couldn't support her. Absolutely no good at all. He only worked 1 day a year.
1 day?
Yes, he was hot cross bun designer. So he left her and fled to Africa, where he was devoured by a wild lion. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
What?
Now, if you'll allow me, I can put all this straight in 1 minute.
You can? Well, I can't.
Sally's husband is not a worthless dog. Good boy. On the contrary, he is the soul of honour.
He's right.
Then you know him.
Well, of course I know him, for I am Sally's husband.
You?
How dare you tell such a lie?
Stop! This thing has gone far enough. There is no longer any need for secrecy. I am Sally's husband.
What?
We've been married for more than a year.
You?
I told the truth and didn't know it.
And the baby?
He's ours too.
I knew there was something charming about that child.
You would.
And now I want to know where our baby is and who is responsible for its disappearance.
Oh, Willie, please don't be angry, but thinking it would avoid a lot of trouble, I took the baby downstairs and left it in a taxi.
Good heavens! A taxi?
It was taken to the police station and then to the orphan's home, and now we've got the wrong one.
Oh, look who's arrived.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
It's Noah.
Yes. Noah, come back to the knot.
Where have you been?
Mind your own business. Shut up, Arabella. I've had enough of your sarsaparilla. Another word from you and I'll make myself a widower. My name is no longer Noah. It's Samson. I tame lions, I do. From now on, I'm a lone wolf.
Hey, listen, you. Where have you been?
I've been in a public mouse.
What?
I drank so much whiskey, I could bite a bulldog.
So that's where you got into that taxi?
Oh, and while I was in that taxi, I was visited by a stork.
The stork?
He dropped a baby in my lap and flew away.
A baby? Oh, that was ours.
I was sure it wasn't mine.
Quick, what did you do with the baby?
Oh, yes, the baby. Now, let me see. What did I do with that baby? Did I...
Come on, Pop, make haste!
Let me think. Did I leave it in the taxi? No.
No.
Did I leave it in the Hublet house? Yes.
Yes.
No, I didn't. Now, what did I do with that baby?
I say, Governor, you left this in the taxi.
My baby! Oh, my little one, I'm so glad we found you.
And now, you little reptile.
Go away, woman. You're drunk. Well, I guess this looks like the end of my case. Now, in the garage murder case, I got the proprietor. In the Bishop murder case, I got the bishop.
Say, where's the lunatic?
There.
Well, I think that ends the mystery of the summer house.
Now, am I forgiven for the crime I haven't committed?
Of course, Jack.
My darling.
My sweetheart.
Our baby.
My caveman. Oh.
Why, Arabella.
Well, that all ended on a much happier note than we thought it would. Sally and Willie are reunited with their baby. Jack and Stella are reconciled. Ima, with the help of Miss White, may even make her way into films. Miss White and Dr. Knott have become reacquainted, without swimming or slapping being involved. Yet. An unwanted grand piano became an adored grand baby. And let us not forget about Noah, who has turned out to be the hero of our tale, valiantly returning the lost infant to his distraught parents. Noah, brave and wild, is now the rooster in the henhouse, instead of being henpecked.
Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Until next time, good evening.
That's another one down.
Definitely not a damsel in distress script.
So you up for a drinky?
Oh, yes, please.
Definitely not.
I never say no to a drink.
How about a cup of coffee then?
I'll put the pot down.
Well, I must say I did enjoy playing the love interest again.
Didn't really interest me.
It wasn't totally disagreeable to me.
Do you know, well, thank you. Thank you all very much. I come here every week to do my best, and what do? You just all mock me.
There, we mean no harm.
Hey, why don't you come out with me and I'll make it up to you? Maybe later on we could play doctors and nurses, eh?
Well, I never!
That's not entirely true.
Oh! So we go for a drink or not?
Count me in.
Yeah, me too.
Whiskey or beer?
Ponies or pints?
Oh, who cares? Giddy up! I'm thirsty.
Come on, let's off to the public pals.
What's them bits there? Well, you shouted me. Yeah, I was. Oh. But I just said, don't tread on that. Go. All right. I heard you the first time. Look at that lot. I ain't cleaning that lot or washing them. You do it for that. I'm not doing it. I ain't been done on that fiddly little steppers of me or colour bar up here anyway. I don't know about it. I don't know why I've got this one here. I suppose it's for going down or for going up. Whichever you like. I don't fancy any of them, really. Pat, can you put the kettle on? I think you might be needing a couple of teas. Oh, that's it. What should we go? What should we do? Hey, don't you go down there, because I'm not picking yarn. Go down there, but I wonder if that could be real at some stage. Nice brand. No, you don't drink, do you? No, I don't. I don't think that's brandy. I will try. No, because it's actually got... It's not... Actually, it's a bit like the colour of my cup of tea. I don't like cup of tea. Only like herbal. Yeah, I know. You're queer, you are. Well, who don't like a cup of tea? Me? I don't like tea. You must be the only one in bloody Adelaide that don't like a cup of tea. I like the herbal. I don't like it strong. I just like it tickle. Well, I like mine. Like yours, you know. You leave the bag in. Are you listening? You leave the bag in and then you give it a good squeeze after about 5 minutes. And then a tiny little drop of milk and no sugar. You heard that, Pat? I like the builder and give it a squeeze, but not the tea. Well, you can have the builder then, because I'm too much tea anyway. I don't know what the builder looks like, but you can have him. As long as he's clean, I only like clean ones. And not hairy, I don't like hairy. No. What about bad breath? Oh, why'd you come up with a thing like that for? Well, you know, you might have bad breath. I mean, some people don't mind if somebody's got bad breath if it looks like Richard Gere, perhaps, but... Oh, Richard Gere wouldn't have that. Well, no, he wouldn't, but if he did, just supposing he did, and he started to get cozy with love, would you think, well, it's Richard Gere, so I'll put up with his bad breath, or would you tell him to bugger off? No, I've been saying, just take a shot, or just be... What, because it's Richard Gere, or because he got bad breath? No, because it's Richard Gere. Oh, well, yeah, I'm with you there. I don't know who I bought this song for. What? Oh, I thought we got a floor to clean. They didn't say it got carpets down. Well, you've got that, but where's your bucket of water? Well, I'm just going to spit and rub it in, you know. I'm taking another bucket of water up here, am I?
But is it
We
time
could
for
have
going?
had a splitting
Did the shoot rang up?
Well, let's stop.
Oh, well, I was down in Kent much more.
Oh,
much more
pardon me.
fine down there.
Blimey, no wonder you drink posh tea.